Yeah. Yep. Check that.
Yeah. Double check.
Yes.
We're so Barack.
We are more back than ever.
Okay. Microphone is connected. Stream is actually on and not being recorded. All right.
Okay.
Well, hey, at least if I hadn't noticed the record, at least we still would have had the VOD.
Yes. Yeah. At least there would be that. So, but
right.
Regardless, this is a topic that was not covered on that consent sheet that we all that I had everybody make a copy of at the very beginning. And what this has to do with is not really a content consent sort of thing. It's related, but it's not exactly that. I wanted to talk about charms and compulsions and other sort of those similar sort of effects in game. And the reason that I wanted to talk about them is because, mechanically speaking, as people here in Meat Space playing the game, in combat, it can be 10 minutes or more in between your individual turns as we go through all of the other players' turns and then all of the NPCs that might be involved in an encounter. And if you fail a saving throw versus say a spell that is hey, drop your pants and take a shit for all 3 actions per turn, which by the way exists, but if that were to happen, then you, the player, basically are being told that you don't get a turn and you have to wait another 10 minutes after that before it comes back around to you again. So this can be very annoying and very unsatisfying from you as a player at the table playing the game perspective. And the reason that I want to bring this up is because we've kind of touched on it before, but I have since the start of this campaign been self-editing myself and self-editing creatures that I bring into the campaign to not use those sort of effects very much because they can be bad, or they can be poorly handled is the more correct way to say it. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to let you guys know that there are some things in the upcoming arc here in Showbury, which is going to be essentially the meat and potatoes, the main dish of this arc. There are some things here that have those kinds of abilities, and I could edit them out. That's entirely possible. As a matter of fact, I probably still will with some of them. But I wanted to just touch on base with everybody of the that if it comes up, I as a DM and as a fellow human being, I think that would be very cool for you, if you're under the effect of one of these things, for you to try to think of loopholes and logical fallacies and things like that. I, as the game master, do not see that as cheating or bad play or anything like that. That's you, the player, using both player knowledge and character knowledge and all of your characters shit to figure out a way around this problem. And I fully encourage that. But, however, if you feel like you don't want to deal with that stuff, if you don't want to deal with the loss of agency, because let's be clear, that's what it is. It's a loss of agency of your character in that moment. If you don't want to do that, then you can tell me. You don't have to do it now. You don't have to be public about it if you don't want to. But if that's something you would just rather not do, you can let me know, privately through Discord or whatever, and I will make a note of it for myself so that I try not to throw those things at you.
Or you could might be a little bit easier for you to see. There's the Whisper GM thing in Roll20.
Yeah. There is also that.
It's funny you bring this up, Fuzzy, because I literally, in my D&D game, I had to deal with this. One of our players last game, a week ago, did not get to play at all during an entire fucking combat because they kept getting stunned. And then when they finally were able to move, they were being mind controlled, and the first thing that they were forced to do was attack one of the players. So
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that can be you as the player, that can be wildly unsatisfying. Now, as a storytelling, as a narrative sort of like function and thing like that, that can be really useful. And there are ways that it can be fun, but it can also just be too much. It can be too overwhelming. The thing that I'm going to really try to do my best with is, if it should come up in combat and you haven't otherwise said to me that you just simply don't want to interact with that particular subsystem of the game, what I am going to do is I'm going to try to my damnedest to make sure that you don't lose more than a single turn, because I don't want that specific situation that you just mentioned to happen to any of you guys. I don't want to have it spend an entire combat where you can't do shit.
You just lay there.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you just lay there and be like, you're just listening to sad music while things happen around you.
well, you already know how I feel about it, Fuzzy. I want you to look me in the eyes and I let the dice fall where they roll.
I mean, I will look you in the eyes and fondle you in the balls as I tell you have to run around.
What?
Hey, Fuzzy, didn't nobody say anything about that? That's what you want to do? That's what you want to do?
Fuck
Hey,
every
that's
ball.
how the term works.
I know it's this kind of game.
Anyways,
I don't know. I definitely think I'm one of those people where it's like my opinion would probably change if it were to happen in the moment, because it's like it's one of those things like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad, and then like a single game I get stunned the entire combat and nothing happens. It's like yeah, it's one of those things where it's like yeah, no, I can see why it would be annoying.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to bring it up, and it's why I also want to make it a thing that we can change that as we go along. And I do want this to be very much a like a feedback thing with you guys as the players, since you're going to be on the business end of that more often than I will be, technically speaking. So, if it runs well, that's great. If it starts to not feel good, let me know, and we can make adjustments on the fly. I do not mind retconning and they use a different ability or something like that. I don't fucking mind doing that. That is not a problem for me. And like I said, if you get caught in it, I 100% encourage you to think of fucking loopholes and ways around the logic and all that sort of stuff in order to maintain a level of agency with your character. So, I 100% thumbs up. That ain't cheating in my book. That is how you play this game. So I just want to make sure that was clear and that was stated before we moved into things. But that said, let's talk about that actual recap here of what's actually going on in this city. First and foremost, since it has been a while, let's talk about where the hell the party is at the moment.
Where the hell am I?
You are currently in a city called Showbury, or well, technically you're on the very outskirts of the city called Showbury. That's where we ended the last session at. But Showbury, so that you are aware, is a very large town which is situated in a valley that is surrounded by 3 mountains, and there is a large river that runs through this valley that Showbury is built on the shores of. This mountain range that you're in is called the Broken Molars, because the tops of the mountains are bald and are with a kind of pale stone, and from a distance they look sort of like teeth. That's why they're called the Broken Molars. But otherwise, you guys are in the most serene republic of Uxland, also just known as Uxland. It is a ally of the Empire. They are close buddies with each other. They do a lot of trade and things like that. As the name would suggest, them as a republic, this is essentially a collection of states, city-states that all work together, and they all pay taxes and whatnot to a high king. Each city is run by a jarl, and he has personal military force located in the city. Although Showbury specifically doesn't just have the Jarl's forces. There are also Imperial forces here, and they are not hiding that shit.
Nope.
But that's where you are. You're currently in a town called Showbury, which is located roughly halfway up the side of the continent in the country of Uxlan. You can think of this place as basically Skyrim. I'm not going to be doing the accent all of the time, but everybody you talk to has a vaguely Russian accent. It is the depths of winter. It is still like the first 2 weeks of January right now that you guys are in. And there is on the ground, not in the roads, but like in the ground and like, in the eaves and some of the alleyways and whatnot, there is snow that is 2 to 3 feet deep. You guys could lose Laria if she were to just like walk into like one of the snow drifts. She just disappears. She's not tall enough to get out of it. So yeah, like it is very wintry. There was a winter storm a little while before you guys got here, which put down some fresh powder. But otherwise, right now the weather's fine. The weather's actually, pretty nice. It's actually trending slightly up in temperature. It hasn't hit 0 yet, but like it's trending upwards.
Yeah.
But that's where we currently are. Now the reason that we are here is because Callie, Syrup's character, operating on a tip from a cook in a kitchen at a bar. It's just like, hey, let's take our brand new
this
flying
new language
vessel.
I learned to go speak with him as well. Yeah,
like Callie learned a whole ass language so she could talk to this guy. This guy is he speaks Shisk, which probably means that he is a Shisk, which is a like offshoot of humans. But he told Callie that if she was looking to get her hands on soul gems, which is a illegal substance essentially, and not like it's not like illegal in the Empire to have soul gems, well, as they are a main part of the construction of automaton cores, so therefore Tim quote unquote owns some soul gem material. It's part of his core.
You can't buy it though. It's not for sale.
So it's not illegal by human law. It is, however, something that is considered illegal by literal angels. So like celestials and other like creatures that exist post-mortal are like, that shit doesn't really belong in mortal hands. They can't do much about it, but they're like really angry about it whenever it happens. But either way, this material, which is formed in 2 ways, one of which is extremely evil, and the other one is natural but ununderstood, is used for a whole bunch of different things. So it is a valuable substance. Let us be clear about that. It is a valuable, versatile substance. I don't know what Callie wants to do with it, but Callie wants it and has found information about where theoretically there's apparently a source of it, and it's here in Showbury, in Uxland.
I mean, if Callie wants it, you should just assume it's for something bad. Automatically.
It probably is, but like, there might be a silver lining in there somewhere. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there.
It's either good in an evil way or evil in a good way.
Or
plus, it's never true evil, but yeah, it's usually what he said. There's also some question on exactly what Callie has told the rest of the party about this. Because I don't think that it was ever fully voiced. I think she's told them a vague understanding, but like I feel like it's under the guise of like, hey, we're here to help Tim learn more about Viva Machina, and I'm totally not gonna like ditch you guys and try to steal a shipment of soul gems or anything like that.
It should be noted that in the last town that you guys were in the town of Oakensea, Callie, as soon as you guys walked into the library, made a beeline for the forbidden section and turned it into a heist without telling anybody. She just did it.
Yeah.
And it was just a smash and grab, too. It wasn't even like a really like complicated thing either. She literally burnt a hole through the gate using some acid, turned invisible for a few minutes, ran in, scooped some shit off of the shelves that she didn't know even what it was, and then ran for it.
Yeah.
And nobody knew.
Yeah, nobody.
No, they noticed it. They noticed it happening. They just hadn't caught her. So
didn't we also like maybe potentially blame that on the guy in Okensea or whatever as well? We were like, hey, this guy's got you know, he's got a rune on his clothes that turns him invisible. He might have been your book culprit. Bye, and then we left.
I mean, there was some stuff, with the whole like serial killer and all that sort of jazz, and you guys laying the blame of that on him. You know what? Feels normal. Feels natural that you would have done that.
Yeah. He did it. We didn't.
The horrible shit he was doing. He kind of deserved it. I'm gonna be honest.
And technically, none of the other characters have to lie about that because they didn't see you do it.
I didn't see Callie take a book. Not a lie.
They didn't see you do it, and none of them actually entered into the forbidden area. It was all Callie.
It's crazy how that could have really gone poorly for me, and one of the books is literally called Rat Makeup. Rat Makeover. Yeah, Rat
Makeover. But yes, so that craziness aside, what the party actually knows about why the ultimate goal is that you're here, I'm honestly not sure, but it is some combination of helping Tim learn more information about his origins and his construction, which involves the group known as Vivum Machinum, and also Callie seems to have some other like interest in this very specific location. As far as Callie herself, though, knows, according again to her informant, they mine soul gems here. They naturally pull them out of the area, and Shobari is known as a mining town. Now, the other thing that needs to be pointed out here, as everybody would have experienced this aspect of it, is that when you guys were in Okensea, and in every other instance that you guys have heard anything about Shobari or read anything about Shobari that was written down or anything like that, there is absolutely no mention anywhere of gemstones of any sort, soul or otherwise. It is a copper mining town. They do mine other stuff, but it is mostly copper. This is the copper producer of Uxland, and the Empire is a major contributor in the mining operations, well as the source of profit for Uxland because they buy a crap ton of said copper. That's why they're here. Is they've got a invested reason to be here for this resource, and so that's why they are here. In mass, in force, and with guns. So, yeah. So that's why we're here. That's where we are. Obviously, we got here using the big flying boat. It does need to be noted that the flying angler, which is your big ass Zeppelin, we may call it an airship, but that shit is not waterproof. I want to point that out. You land that thing in the water, that thing dies. But it is currently deflating behind you guys because you've parked it. You've also detached Mr. Servos. So Callie has Mr. Servos with her, and she has already been told that due to the Empire, being here in Shobari in such force, they actually have a good collection of clockwork machines that move around the city and do work and stuff. So they're not terribly weirded out by Mr. Servos, and they're just going to basically treat him like a vehicle that Callie rides. He's just a motor horse. He's just a motor horse.
Yeah.
They're not going to think about it too hard.
He's got this big ass dwarven gun on it.
Yeah. Let's just let people keep thinking that,
It's a horse with a crossbow, Mr. Servos with a gun. Same thing.
I'm assuming it's just got a big tarp over the gun.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Callie might have painted it to make it look more worship friendly or something.
Yeah, like it's probably
He's
like covered in a tarp.
merchants, guys. We're not heavily armed bandits or something.
It's covered in a tarp. It is the shape of a gun. Everyone can see that, but everyone's just going to pretend it's not. Either way, so let's switch our map here to the actual city of Shobri, which I have done some modifications to the map.
Ooh.
All right, so boop.
Oh,
Welcome back to Shobri. You may want to zoom out to fit.
Noticing the map
Although that's going to make things a little difficult to read. But you will see on the map, if you look around, that over there in the bottom left-hand corner, I did put some places, including Kazmir, the base, what direction it is, and how long it will take you to fly there.
11 days.
11 days, assuming no bad weather. All of this is assuming that that you're flying and that you do not have adverse weather conditions or something else that slows you down. So Quinton, which is the actual capital of Uxlan, that's just a scant 3-day trip. Emister is the town that has the portal, which the portal, this is a well-known thing, this is a public information, there is a portal that is part of a ancient network of portals. Nobody knows who made them. They're just used by, people and have been for hundreds of years. But there's a portal in Emister that connects to the capital of the Empire. So there's like literally a day and a half travel from here. You guys can take a portal and then show up on the other side of the planet. So
do you know how big the portal is?
It is. I'll go ahead and tell you. It's. You could move the airship through it, but only if you'd had it deflated and then got put wheels on it and then pushed it through.
Gotcha. So it's not going to be our quick way of merchandising.
No.
You mean our quick way of escaping punishment for when we commit crimes is what you mean to say.
It can handle wagons, it can handle quote unquote large size vehicles. So it can handle those things. It cannot handle the huge envelope of a flying blimp. It cannot do that. But either way, that portal is there. It is a known thing. Everyone is fucking aware of it. It is the main hub for trade, which means obviously it's extremely well guarded and it sees in and out travel all the goddamn time. But either way, that's located over in the corner. You will also see names of the various forests that surround the town. I have outlined in red the borders of the different sections of the town, so that it's a little bit easier to tell where a section begins and ends. Some of these grays and greens kind of match with each other way too much. But either way, you guys were guided to land the angler over here in a field. They actually used semaphore flashes from the walls, which as you guys got closer, all of the walls are loaded with cannons. Yeah, so for a fact that they have cannons that they are quite capable of using. They are armed, and when you sat down, they came out with a contingent of knights. There's also foot soldiers and just regular people that live and work here, but they came out with a contingent of knights to meet you guys as soon as you were on the ground.
See what's up.
So they came up to figure out what the hell is going on here, because to be pointed out, outside of your own airship that you guys have had, there's literally been one other airship that has been seen in this entire campaign. Flying vehicles.
And we
flying
crashed
vehicles
that
are
one.
brand fucking new.
Hey, to be fair, the giant
world.
robot crashed it, not us. Well, also the dragon too.
I
Yeah,
don't think
I-
it was
oh.
a giant robot. I think it was just the dragon. It popped a hole in it or something.
Soul Riot landed. It was like, hey, hand me the thing, and you guys were like, yeah, sure, dragon. That's like bigger than all of us, and it's like, thanks, and then like popped a hole in the balloon and was like, see ya, and like took off. It was his first of many acts of assholism.
Snake.
But yes, he is a big dick. But either way, here in Showbury, the people who came out to meet you, two knights essentially, who are very clearly like knights who are part of the forces here. They are very clearly, obviously, natives of Uxland. And then you've got one guy who is dressed like a lightly armored knight, who is with them, and he's very clearly Imperial. So there's all of that. There was some rumping and grousing right at when they first were showing up, where they were like, hey, do you know anything about this? Looking at him when they're like, hey, do you know anything about the big giant flying boat thing? And he's like, nope, don't know anything about it. But yeah. Either way, the knight who is important for you guys to know his name is Commander Vine. He is human. He's in his he's probably in his 40s.
The knight for the Empire or the knight for Show?
He works for Showbury. He works for the Jarl.
Okay.
He is a local commander. He's the local commander. Is Commander Vine. The Imperial guy, he is known as Officer Edisk.
Okay.
So, Edisk, to be clear,
those names.
So Vine, he's the important guy. He's the one to talk to. Edisk, he's the Imperial guy who works with him. Who works with him, but there's clearly not 100% trust between them.
I see. I mean, I just that's happened. They're all still looking at us, right? They're all like, "What? What do you mean you fought a dragon just so you could deliver furniture for us?" There was some question about where the hell did you get a flying ship? And of course, the one person we all let ask this question or answer this question was Callie, obviously. And surprisingly, she didn't come up with a lie this time, even though it probably would have been a better idea considering.
Callie gave him a very general truth. I asked for a performance check from her, and she actually crit that bitch.
It's right there on the top.
So everyone was actually very impressed with her rundown of all of this sort of stuff. So much so that Commander Vine pointed out specifically that he was very impressed to hear that, and he would love to hear greater details. Having a fight with a dragon, even if it's an undead dragon that's mostly rotted away, is something so rare. It's one of those things that gets fucking written down, and the fact that you guys had a fight with one out in the middle of nowhere and then also grand theft airshipped his ride is super fucking impressive. But either way though, you guys did say, and you were clearly flying the colors of being a registered merchant, and right now you are legally merchant.
Yep,
so
and we got all the paperwork too. We even got paperwork in there signed by the Earl of Oakham saying that we did business in air quotes business in this town.
Yep, and that and that paperwork had been handed over, which Vine and Edisk did glance over, and after essentially confirming between themselves, this seems to be legit. This is obviously an extremely weird situation for them, but you guys seem to be legit. What Well, it would behoove Vine to do his duty and to bring you guys over to the fortress to like meet the Jarl, but otherwise you are welcome in Showbury within the walls, and while you are here doing your mercantile business, like they would be very happy if you would, like obey the general laws and all that sort of stuff of the location. they would like that, pretty please. And if you don't, well, they have, knights,
Points
and
to
then
the
like
cannons.
and then the Imperial forces have guns, and then there's cannons. So.
I do have. I'll ask. Callie goes up to him. He's like, "Your name's Commander Wine, right? Like, wine, like."
No, Vine. Like plant.
Oh, Vine. I'm sorry. I'm
grass.
bad with names. Callie says. Yeah, I was just gonna. Sorry, Callie. I was just like, what are the laws about like setting up stalls here? In the
we have we have a couple of different markets. There is a section of town on the other side of the wall. You'll see it soon after we enter a gate. We call this place Market Town. There are many markets. According to your paperwork, it says you are furniture and general goods. This is correct?
Yes. Our current bulk is furniture, but we do take specialty items, other general goods. We even got a catalog of stuff that, special order. It could be special ordered and stuff.
Good. This is good. This is good. I am not a merchant, but I would like to see what your catalog has in it. While we get merchants from the Empire all of the time, you all carry such wildly different goods, things that we cannot get here. So I would be interested to at least see some of what is on there. But that can be done later now. Now it's time to go see Jarl. Generally, though,
saved by the bell, guys. He opens it, and the first page is literally just bombs and other bomb-related materials.
It goes
Bombs
by
and
letter
bombs
A,
accessories.
arsenic, B, bombs, C, carcinogens. Just
he's like, why is first page labeled terrorist supplies?
a sting operation.
Quickly covers
But,
our proprietary supplies.
But in general, any one of the squares is usually a place for markets and stalls.
Is it like first come first serve, or is it like a renting kind of thing? I just asked.
Most of them, best I know. Again, I'm not really the person to ask for that detail, but as most I know, it's first come first serve. I see different merchants in different places all the time, and they are always bickering about somebody stealing their spot and things like that. So
she writes that down in her journal.
I would imagine it's a first come first serve sort of situation. The big one we have in the fairgrounds. We will be passing by fairgrounds on Wet Fortress. I pointed out to you. It's very, very obvious to see it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you will, just fall in line. I will have a couple of my men set up a perimeter around your vessel to keep the locals from poking around in there. And now, while I say I am no tour guide or anything, it is a little bit of a walk over to the fortress. So since you are new to town and you are going to likely have questions, feel free to ask any as we go along. And
real quick, before we start, last time we played, you said there was a crowd that gathered around the ship as we landed.
Yes, there's a small crowd. There are 3 fully kitted out knights, of which Vine is one of them. he has a junior knight that is basically his second, who's been politely sitting in the back, but like I mean he's a big armored, tank of a man on horseback. And then of course there's Edix, who is there, who's like I said lightly armored than them, but he's also got guns on his belt. In addition. Then there's a whole bunch of foot soldiers. There's about like 20 foot soldiers, and then there's maybe twice that number of just random people that live in town that came to see the big flying ship come down.
Gotcha. Can I do a perception check for just any outliers in the crowd? I assume most of them look like humans, but just any that like stick out.
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check for that.
You know what? I'll follow up with Tim and do a perception check as well.
All right. Are you also looking for just outliers / weirdos
Any
amongst
freaks?
the crowd?
Yeah, any freaks.
Any freaks?
Any yahoos, any riffraff,
barring the party themselves, which to be clear, since it has been a while since we played, the party is currently accompanied by Rusi, Callie's older brother. He is a gladiator. He's a gladiator style like warrior. You guys also have Torque with you, and obviously, of course, she's your resident bard. She was the one who used her bard skills to figure out what the fuck the semaphore flashing was to give you guys directions.
So you don't die.
Yeah.
But
Callie, speaking of Rusi, Callie nudges Rusi's like, brother. This is an awkward, by the way, so nobody else can hear it except Seamus, I think, because he knows it. She nudges Rushi, and she's like, we might have to wake up brother so we can get a good spot for the stall in the morning in the marketplace or market town or whatever the hell they call it.
Well, then it's a good thing. Then it's a good thing you built that alarm into my arm. Lifts up his hand, flips his wrist like backwards, so the back of his hand is touching his forearm, and out comes like a little thing with a bell on it, and just like cranks
gadget.
Gadget set alarm.
It's one of those stereotypical alarm clocks, but it's like attached to a string or something. Or
and it's just inside of his arm. And then he like flips it back, and there's several people who like see him do this. Who are like, is that a very moist man or a very dank robot?
Moist man?
Is that a moist?
Is that a moist?
I would imagine at this point they're both wearing the reverse diving suits.
With that,
you guys are.
They probably would be thinking that. Yeah.
It's like that's a moist person. With that 32 perception, is anybody looking at Tim weird?
Nobody is looking at Tim weird, at least in a way that you have not, encountered people before. These people do not have a lot of experience with automatons. However, as was pointed out by Commander Vine, it's not like they haven't seen like large robots and mechanics that can apparently move around and do stuff by themselves.
I feel like you as an automaton is like the most normal out of the group, considering like two fish people are rolling up in a tank and like the populace is like 98% human. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
don't worry, Tim. Callie's taking all the attention off of you. You don't have to worry about them judging you because they're probably judging her silently.
Yeah. So. With y'all's perception checks, just to spot anybody who is like an outlier, you guys do see that while it's 98% human here, in this relatively small slice of the population, there is one non-human that isn't one of you guys or one of the associated NPCs, and this non-human is a they look pretty damn human. They're very humanoid, but they have like spiky hair and not like frosted tips, kind of like spiky hair, but like actual spikes, like quills.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, fucking Sonic the Hedgehog is like He's slightly in the back. He is actually almost as tall as Tim. Which a lot of the adult human males here are also like in that 6 to 6'6" range. So I mean that doesn't make him actually like stand out that much amongst them, but he's a little over 6 feet tall. He has quills and he is dressed in a like he's not dressed like a laborer. He is dressed like a clerk or a cleric or like something. He's basically a white collar worker kind of like thing. Like he would be in the old office. Yeah, some sort of like pencil pusher or something like that. But he's gawking at you guys just as much as the rest.
Makes sense.
But yeah, he's gawking at you guys. Tim, however, with your 32, you do notice that a couple of the people who are relatively nearby, and it's not like they're trying to hide these things or anything, but they're also not overstating them. You notice that a couple of them have trinkets that they're like, like on a cord around their neck, that are they just scream holy symbol to you. And let me tell you what the specific holy symbol looks like. I can look it up real quick. Let's see. Archive of
Irish tap dancing music that's playing right now. I have like a royalty-free like fantasy playlist playing, and it just suddenly got Irish tap dancing.
I am too. I don't have Irish tap dancing. It just sounds like Skyrim music.
Good.
Yeah, I got some like
because that's where you're fucking at
in the background, at least for the.
Okay. Yes. So Tim, the symbol that you see on a couple of like, and I say a couple, but I mean like 7 or 8, like a good solid third of the entire crowd. You see these little trinkets either on around like a simple leather thong on the neck, or attached to a bracelet or something like that, or a belt buckle. They all have carved on them. They have a symbol which looks like a pair of antlers that are connected to each other with a handle in the middle, and then an arrow going across them, like the antlers are forming a bow.
Can I do some kind of religion check?
Yes, you can. Well, are you trained in religion?
I don't think I am.
I'm trained in religion.
Well then, Tim, you could point this out to somebody who is trained in religion, and they can make the check.
Yeah, I point this out to Callie. I kind of point this out to everybody, just to the side, and be like, "Do you guys see those?
Damn.
Same here.
Do you guys see those?
Alrighty.
Yeah,
Sigils on them?
Swag, you don't know who the fuck that is.
Oh hey.
Okay. However, Callie and Laria, you guys know that this is a holy symbol to a god who is, specifically a god who is called Aristil, also known sometimes as Old Deadeye. Old Deadeye. He is specifically, very, very kind of cowboyish. He is specifically a god of the land. He is sometimes considered like an agricultural deity. He has to do with like hunting and farming and whatnot. Basically, he's also the god of conservatives.
Oh no!
All right.
Are they like Cheeto Orange by chance?
No.
They're red. They're red, and they wear them on their head.
They wear red caps.
Red is actually a
oh god.
Oh
in
no.
So clerics.
I mean, we are
clergy. Clergy members of Aristil can usually be like, if you don't see the holy symbol on them, which they wear loud and proud. But you can also tell them like out of the crowd, because they will usually be wearing something on them that is a very bright red, like a bright red orange color.
Huh.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a bright red orange. None of these people, by the way, are wearing considered like bright red orange that says like, "Hey, yo, I'm a member of the priesthood" or anything like that. These just look to be like normal followers, but they definitely make up a large contingent of the people who are
Well,
here.
now that Tim just pointed that out to Callie and like Skish to the rest of the crowd's like, I do also sell farm equipment as well. That is another thing I do sell. And toting it out there.
There are the responses you get are a lot of like raised eyebrows. What the hell did you just say? Kind of like that. But you do also get a large portion of people who give you that like, I understood what you said, and I'm really surprised that you could actually pronounce that.
It's like,
kind of like look. And one of the people who is wearing the symbol says back in Skish, says, "You sell farming equipment, like plows."
Yes,
Pitchforks?
I do. Yes, she says back in Skish, I do sell items such as that.
he like cocks an eyebrow at that. And he leans forward. He's like, "I've got a windmill on my property that provides milling for my goods. And do you have something that can clean tar off of stone and wood?"
Callie like thinks about it. Is like, I could probably make such an item. Yes.
I would be interested in that. It sticks, and when it gets real cold like this in the wintertime, all this is said in Shtisk, by the way. When it gets cold in the wintertime, it sticks really badly, and the mill is not evenly ground. Also, because it sticks, the side arm doesn't spin the, like, brush that my three horns like to use to groom themselves with very well, and they get very grumpy. And then they start shitting in the garden, and I don't like that.
A lot of information from this man up front. I respect it.
Yeah, respectable, I guess.
If you can make that, I will pay you good money for it. And I know a couple of others that could use something like that too.
Callie says, yes, I can make such items. The Fino workshop can craft any such goods that are possible.
I will let my friends know about this. I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that you have come to our city in your big flying thing that your flying house. What do you call it?
We call it, and she says this in Skish too, the flying angler. Is what she says.
Oh, I like that name. I like that name. My cousin, he is an angler.
We got one man on the inside already, just by selling farming equipment.
Like, we're here to like investigate the soul mines, and Callie's like cornering the fucking farming market here.
Hey,
Farming market.
We gotta get the Fino workshop out there somehow. And
We gotta get her name out there.
If she gotta sell farming equipment, she'll sell farming equipment.
Oh yeah.
I love you guys. This is like the best. I miss this so much.
Mm.
Callie then says back, the guy in Skish is like, yes, being an angler is a pretty honorable profession. We should have a stall, because Guard Man over here said that we can set up a stall. We should have a stall in the market town, but I might come back here to present you with such item.
I have a house inside of the walls. If you set up a stall in the fairgrounds, in the market town area, I will come, and I will bring my friends who could also use this product. If you can make enough for all of us, you will make good money here. I can promise you that.
That I will do. And then Callie like bows a little. It's a lost
It is
the baggy fisherman pants.
well, he grabs the like edges of his like labor apron, and like does like a practically like a curtsy, back to Callie, and he says, after you have set up your stall, come by Old Deadeye's range. There will be more people there who would be interested in the kind of product that you have. The furniture too. I know somebody who's got like a squeaky chair they like to replace.
Yeah, that we can do as well. Callie says, perking up as well.
This conversation is all happening in Skish.
Yeah, so nobody
literally knows. The whole crew is like
nobody in the party knows.
Yeah, nobody knows what the fuck is going on, and they're just like, well, Callie seems to be talking to somebody.
I think we can kind of guess like from body language, like it's like a positive conversation at least.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say we're like
selling
stuff again.
I mean, you could tell if Callie was mad at that guy. She'd probably be yelling and shouting and like screaming or something. You know, she's putting on that Callie is trying to be nice here and pretending to be nice here. Like
and everybody quite clearly sees, you know, them exchange, you know, the pleasantries, and then he turns around and like points, you know, like in a direction, and he's like, you know, over there is where the Old Deadeye's range is, and I have plopped it on the map there.
Right.
You're actually very near to it. But he's just like come back over there. There will be other farmers who would be interested in the like those kinds of goods and services.
Yes, I mean, it's always good to set that up. We are posing air quotes as merchants. We are kind of merchants.
I was gonna say, if they want to buy it from us, we'll sell it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like we are technically posing as merchants, but at the same time, we're still technically merchants. So we're still.
We're not lying.
We're not lying.
You're not lying. You're
not telling
lying.
all the
truth. We do sell goods and services, obviously.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the game on pause for a brief moment while I go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Let's go.
While he's taking a piss, everybody take a shot.
Damn.
Hoorah!
Taking a shot.
You know, there's some hard lemonade's not bad.
Everybody but your boy.
Don't worry, you're almost there.
I know. Was it March, April?
Dude, it's your birthday. Shouldn't you remember what your birthday is?
No, what month it is currently.
It's
I'm like,
April.
it's April, May, June, July. I got 3 months.
Oh shit, your birthday's in July too?
Yep, July 6th.
Oh, nice.
July 7th!
I'll be 21.
Awesome!
You're the 7th?
Yeah, July 7th.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Birthday share!
Hey!
Birthday party.
What's 9
My
months
birthday is
before?
in 2 weeks and 2 days. 2 weeks and 2 days.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be 32.
Hell yeah.
32? No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Bro, I thought you were 29.
I'm
damn,
29
I wish.
currently. I'm 29 currently.
What do you mean, damn, you wish? That's only 4 years. It's not much of a difference in the grand scheme of things.
I'm 27. I'm old.
What? God, everybody's old.
Okay, I'm not that old. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, right. You're only 24?
22.
I'm not like
24. I don't sound 24.
I know, you don't sound 24, but you carry yourself like a
What
24-year-old.
do you mean I carry myself like a
Carry yourself.
24-year-old?
You're intelligent like one.
Like
I'm not
how
like
this, everybody is old, and literally the GM is the oldest
I
one
mean,
here.
you are right, though. I might be 22, but I'm mentally 40 years old. Like,
hey. I'm not like other teens. I'm 47.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Fuzzy, you're what, 20?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Let's call it that number.
Yeah, sure. I fucks with that. Yeah. Anyways. All right. So, pause off. The party they begin to be escorted by Commander Vine and the other like the mounted officers and like most of the foot soldiers. They kind of like just sort of generally falling behind everybody, as you guys enter into town. And as you do cross the gates and enter into town, I do need everybody to make a will save. DC
Will?
22.
DC what?
Will
What?
DC 22. Will save.
Will
please.
save.
Oh,
DC
well,
22.
damn.
Yeah, I am using a hero point.
It's the smog, isn't it? It's the carbon dioxide from the factories again.
There we go. Will save DC 20 something.
I don't think.
I would re-roll that, but like I probably won't roll higher than that, honestly.
I
Like,
probably
not
would, but I
bad,
have a
But you
feeling
roll.
that I'm
We're
going to need
doing
that
a
roll a
hero
hero
point.
save.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, Torque.
Damn it.
I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, I'd like to
I'm gonna-
save that.
I'm just
for
gonna
something
fail.
that's Probably store. Yeah, store. God damn, my fucking brother's been better than me. He's probably already gotten used to having to breathe in all this carbon dioxide after being.
Okay.
Hey, what are we doing a will save for?
Well,
It's
you're making a
probably-
will save because you're entering into town, and there's an effect that comes into play whenever you cross the into the walls.
Hmm.
The name of this effect, just so that everybody's aware, is line go up.
Line go up? What?
The line go up.
Line go up is what I am calling this effect.
Line go up. Like line,
Mhm.
like LINE line go up.
Yeah, yep. Line go up.
Okay.
Callie, you might want to re-roll that. Can I give Callie my
Are
hero
you-
point?
Does my
Okay.
What do you mean?
So
does my
okay.
feet come into play with this?
Are you telling me? It's like
if you have any bonuses that apply against mental effects or that
Wait.
apply against curses, then those bonuses do apply.
I think I have
To this-
stubborn.
So
I have a feat for
Your
this.
proficiency rank for will saves increases to expert when you fail, but don't critically fail a will save against an effect you would be Would it give me the controlled condition?
God. Damn,
Yes.
I don't know if I
Okay.
should re-roll that.
So I can
depending on
re-roll.
what happens, we might want that to happen. Re-roll
okay,
that.
your proficiency rank for will saves increases to master. Okay, and when you roll a success on a will save, you get a critical success instead. Okay. All right. Well, that does apply to this actually, because there is a difference between just succeeding and critically succeeding.
You saying you're giving me your hero point so I could?
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say, can I give Callie my hero point?
Yes, you can.
Okay, Callie, take my hero point.
All right, there we go.
There you
That's a lot better.
Good.
Yeah.
That is
Bing,
quite
bang, boom.
a lot better.
Okay.
Actually. Damn, that's almost.
All right, so-
but, you know.
All right. So the DC was 22. Callie, because of the reroll, passes. Tim, what was that feat that you said that you have, Tim?
Let me put it down.
Stubborn. Your proficiency rank increases to expert. When you fail, you don't critically fail. Okay, that's important.
Torque, honey. She critically
What?
failed.
Yep,
Well-
you know she's unfortunate there, but it also means though that Tim gets an immediate reroll. So literally 6 seconds after like you've stepped foot in and it happens, you get to reroll. So your reroll was a 25. Okay,
Yes.
all right, cool. All right, so Callie passes. Tim, because of the reroll, passes. Swag fails.
Huh?
June passes.
No, I re-rolled.
Oh wait, no, yeah, you also rerolled. Okay, so you passed, June passed, Rusi passed, Torque critically fails. Torque, you are just the best. Let me tell you.
Oh god, that sounds like somebody at the end of life. You're
I still love her.
you're the best.
she is just.
As you should.
Yeah.
As we're all
She
gonna have
is-
to.
She is just the bitty best. Okay, so the line go up effect. If you did not critically succeed, Although because of the feat, Laria counts as critically succeeding.
Oh,
So because Laria critically succeeded, Laria notices that this happens. That when you cross through that gate and you are inside of the city, you feel an effect like wash over your mind, and it is gigantic. It is covering the entire city. So if you are within the walls of this city, the effect happens. And if you didn't critically succeed, if you succeeded but you not critically, no, you don't worry about anything. You don't take any sort of status effects or any changes whatsoever. But since you critically succeeded, not only do you not take any effects, you notice that it actually happened. So you are aware of the fact that you just made a saving throw, and you critically succeeded against it.
I mean, kind of makes
walks in
sense.
and goes,
You know, like,
what the fuck was that?
Is that what she says out loud?
I mean, yeah. If you want to bring that to anybody, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
what was what?
But,
She would mention it. She would say like, there's like a weird magical barrier that when you like walk through the gate, you can actually feel it happening.
I do have a question. I do have a quick question for you, Laria. Are you announcing this to the group at large or just the party?
The party.
Okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. So Laria telling everybody that there's some magical effect has happened.
You're right. I do. That was kind of funky how that felt.
Was, a bit.
When Laria starts like talking about it, Tim's just gonna
Torque
be
just
like,
shrugs and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
"Hey, just don't. When we get somewhere more private, we'll talk a little more about it."
Yeah. Callie says it because you know Roster, right? No.
Yeah.
Callie says in Roster, you might want to keep that one on the down, just in case it's intentional.
So she would like respond back in Rasu. You think it might be like a secret, like it's not well known?
It might. Callie says in Rasu, it might pertain to the fact that nowhere does anything say that this place mines soul gems.
Oh, do you think she would just say like, "Oh, I'll keep that in mind then."
Yeah. And we'll just keep following the commander and stuff.
Hilaria, I guess we'll just tell Torque, don't worry about it.
We'll talk about it later. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Don't worry
It
about it.
might just become a major problem later, but it's fine.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
It
Yeah, I was
doesn't
gonna say, in the
seem
now, it's
harmless
fine.
at the moment, but it was just weird.
See, on it, I'm gonna. It's kind of funny because this is the first time I took that stubborn as a feat, it's a class ability. That's the first time I've ever used it, or it's been useful, and it seems like it's gonna be something that's gonna be useful in this area.
Talking in orb speak.
You talking in orb speak again?
Yeah, Torque. When you tell her that.
First, the Seamus' language is orb speak.
When you tell Torque, that directly though, she's just like, "Okay, if you say so."
Everybody
I
else
didn't notice anything. But if you say so, sure.
Everybody else is talking in languages they all know to each other, so Tim just starts muttering to himself in Jotun. It's like, I know languages. I know one language. I know a language.
I know a lot of languages. It's bullshit.
I don't know what they're talking about, but I can talk to my
I mean,
lady.
you guys mentioned languages. Callie knows fucking 11.
She's also literally the smartest.
Yeah.
10. It's 10 languages. She knows 10 languages.
Yeah. Tim's got 4. Tim's got Common,
Five
Utopian,
for Laria.
Draconic, and Jotun.
Yeah, I took the multilingual feat, and since I'm really
High intelligence.
Well, not just high intelligence, but like multilingual relates to your society modifier, like if you're trained or expert or whatever, that kind of stuff in it. And you basically get 2 extra languages after a certain point. Once that levels up to a certain point. And one of those free languages I just took Skish because it'd be funny. There was a point where I was like, what would be funny is if Callie knew Abyssal, but I was like, there'd probably be no story significance to her knowing Cthulhu language. So,
I mean, there are a lot of creatures that speak Abyssal, so there would be reason to have it. I mean, really, the truly rough one left out here is Rusi. Rusi speaks Common and Thalassic. He speaks the fucking
Aquan? Or
the specific to Azarketi version of Aquan. Yeah. He speaks that, and he speaks Common with a relatively thick accent. But those are all of the languages he knows.
Well, I mean, for him, it didn't seem like he inherited the intelligence from either parents. It's fine. Not to say that makes him any less than he is.
He's tactically smart. Callie is smart
Callie
is smart everywhere else.
Yeah, Callie's well-rounded smart, and
I forgot.
I mean, he's also been on. He's also been on ice. The last fucking memory he has is when we were living in a shack and we were poor. So I wouldn't expect much. Callie's been reading books for the last 10 years.
Yeah. All right, where's this vine taking us? To be hanged?
Well, no. He's taking you down. He's taking you down this main. He is taking you guys through this gate here. It's wrong tool. Excuse me. He's taking you through this gate here, which is where the effect triggers, and then he's just running you down this main road heading towards the fortress. He does let you know that the fortress is also just known as Oglyre. Oglyre. That is the name of the fortress.
Good. I will forget that and make up my own word in a couple minutes.
I mean, probably. But Oglyre is where the Jarl rules from. The Jarl, according to Commander Vine, is a man whose name is Tyrixon Forney Tyrixon.
Forney Tyrixon.
Forney Tyrixon. Also known as just Jarl Forney.
Jarl? What an unfortunate name.
Jarl Foreskin, got it.
Jarl Forney. But yeah,
except for own names for people, honestly.
But he also just, as he's making conversation, basically, as you guys are, he lets you know that Jarl Forney is an accomplished wizard, and he has been in charge of Shobari for over the last 20 years, and whatnot. And in that 20 years that Jarl Forney has been in charge, Shobari has been doing very well, socially and financially and all that sort of stuff. He points out that they have a very strong trade relationship with the Empire and all that sort of stuff. And the copper that they pull out of the ground here is shipped all over the world.
So I'd imagine Callie makes a joke about it. So you're saying some of the copper that might be mined here is in Mr. Servos right this second? And she looks down at him. He looks back at her.
Beep boop.
Beep boop.
Can I?
Callie goes, I do actually have a genuine question. Why is Underbar Gate called the Underbar?
The Underbar was a location that you guys were told guard who was appointed to assist you in Oakumsea he said that he had traveled because you guys asked him about Showbury, and he said that he had been to Showbury before, and that was the last place that he had seen, like so many of the, wondrous items that the Empire produces and whatnot. But when he was here, which by his recollection was a couple of years ago, that he had a good time and got the best booze at a place in the Underbark Gate area called the Underbar. That's why it's marked on the map. Because it is a location you guys are already aware.
The Underbar.
That large gray area there, that is fairgrounds that was pointed out. And very clearly, there is a section of the fairgrounds which you have tables that are run out like a big, open air market and stuff like that. It is not currently active, but there are plenty of people in the fairgrounds because there are some various games that are being played by children and just like some other people who are out around like fucking curling and tobogganing and all that sort of stuff.
Callie's next question would be, where are these copper mines specifically located?
Well, they are under us, obviously, but the actual entrance is right up here. When we get up towards the fortress, you will see it. In fact, as he's leading you guys along, that leads me to the next thing that I need to pull out of the put on the map. So
the old mapperoo.
Let me.
Kelly also asks, do you guys mine anything other than copper here? Any other specific minerals?
I would say I would quickly whisper to Callie and Ross to be like, careful, don't ask too many questions because they might get suspicious.
Callie back in Rosso says, I'm not asking specifically about soul gems. They could mine iron here for all I care. That's what I'm asking about. I just want to get the... Callie says back in Rosso, I want to get a feel for where all of the mines are currently.
To answer you, Miss Pino, the copper comes primarily from the main branch of the copper mines. We just call it the depths. And it stretches out very far below, and it's even beyond the reach of the wall. There are actually several mines. There is here in the middle of town. It's the one that basically started it all, and it has been the I believe that the imperial saying is cash cow of our lovely burg. You can think of it as the sort of the largest employer in all of the city. But over in the southwest side of the city, we've got a place that's called Light Road. It's where we have a lot of the more magically inclined citizens. And there's a mine over there called Magefall. And a little bit more south, down in towards one of the other gates, which we call it Old Gate, because it's one of the oldest gates from back when the wall was first being built up 100 years ago. There is a mine there. It is probably actually, interestingly enough, the newest mine, and it does not bring up copper. It brings up mostly iron and specialty stones, but it's not actually.
I mentioned iron as a joke.
It is not held, however, by us. It is the claim was that the iron seam was discovered, and then the claim was set by the Empire, actually, and it is run by a imperial company. I believe they are called Avalon.
Callie was just about to mention that. She's like, "Is it the Avalon Mining Company?" She says in I fucking hate these guys tone.
Okay, I've gotten it all written down on paper. He's starting to make connections.
Callie then kind of as a way to defer suspicion on her is like, that's good to know. I was only asking because as the owner of the Fino workshop and the main inventor of that oversees all the projects, I just wanted to know where all of the different mineral deposits were in case I needed to buy materials for such projects.
This makes sense. You would need to go administration for each one of these mines in order to set up negotiations for large scale orders if you are ordering raw material from them. But you are Imperial merchant.
Yeah, could you mark these? She asked. Could you mark these offices on the map?
Well, if you go to the main, and the offices right there, which on the actual map, he does put down that, or he brings out the. I've put up where the Avalon drilling site is and where the Magefall mines are located.
Okay.
But yeah, he points out those, and as you guys are coming forward, and starting to like come around the curve to where the main entrance is for the Copper Depths, he does point out like a absolutely massive building, and he's like, it's just like with the depths here. The main administration buildings are usually directly over the shaft, if not right next to it. And this is where, of course, you can find the copper mines, obviously right across the main courtyard. There's the fortress, and over there you can see soaring above the buildings that very tall spire that sits over to the side. That is the Dom Castle. Are you any of you members of Faith of Serene?
Callie laughs. I'm not of any faith, she says.
It would be deception to lie, right? Obviously.
Yes, it is deception to lie.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to probe him for my answers.
I was gonna be like, oh yeah, I was followed, but I have a 3 to deception, and then I'm not risking it. But you've already said that you don't follow.
I could do a secondary lie here and be like, hey, my rat follows this god. Dr. Tremors, do a deception.
That would be really high. Probably it's like, hey, I don't, but my rat.
My rat follows this god. And would it require a higher deception?
Well, you would be rolling Dr. Tremor's deception check versus Commander Vine's perception DC.
We can find out. We can find out more by ourselves. We don't have to.
I mean, no. His deception is pretty high, actually. He's got a he's got a +1 to when if it's a lie, so it's an 11.
Okay, so he has an 11 modifier for deception. Okay, let me just specifically confirm what Vine's perception DC is. All right.
Hey, this was your gosh darn idea.
I was just thinking out. Well, I was thinking out loud. I didn't want to go down the path unless.
I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen if it's a lie? We could just play it off as a joke, all right? Like,
that's true.
You could just be like, "Hey, am I talking rat just?"
Yeah, just play it off as like, yeah, that was a joke. I was kidding.
Yeah, we were just messing.
I mean, if you want to roll that +11.
Yes, I do. Man, that's a 16 with the Y.
That is nowhere near enough. That doesn't.
Well, I was kidding.
That is in fact a critical failure.
You know what?
Oh god!
It's rewind time.
You don't on a joke. We don't.
I mean, it is an RP session. We're gonna probably be here for a couple of days, so it's fine, I guess.
All right, I'll leave it be then.
Yeah, Commander Vine, hearing Dr. Tremors speak like a human for the first time, just like jerks his head down and back like at his papoose, and he's like, I thought that was a stuffed toy.
You think that's wild? Kim snaps and summons his stone dog. Watch this, and then Brick just goes, "Fuck."
Callie looks at him like,
Wolf.
What gave you that indication that he was a stuffed toy? Also, you guys sell stuffed toys here?
Yes, we do sell stuffed toys here. And I thought it was toy. I've never seen one so small. How did you get one so petite?
Wait, so these guys are common here, she asks?
Yes, they are like size of horse.
Well, she says, he's so small because he's my familiar, and he's also still kind of a baby, I think.
I get you. Yaraforne, he has familiar too. Although I wouldn't say his familiar is like different size than regular animal. I mean, his cat is pretty fat, actually.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I've forgotten which church was it again? Which faith were the spiral? Serenade. Callie, then after the mention of all this, I'm just debating if I should ask a question about the Church of Serenade.
We can probably go talk to the people at the Dawn Castle if we have questions.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And everyone would generally know that Serenade is a she is a like fire, sun, and just general goodness kind of like deity. She is the sort of like you can honestly think of her as like kind of like a paladin god. In that she's like I am opposed to evil and I will specifically go into hell to kick Satan in the nuts.
So a god Callie would absolutely hate is what you're saying to me.
Yeah, probably. They did, however, the church branch that was in Oakumsea did, however, quite gladly provide you guys with holy water to like bomb spirits with. They were totally down for you to do that.
That is. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I probably want to get the formulas for such. Did they? What was it? It was the capital, right? We're not in the capital, right?
Well, no. Technically speaking, this is the capital for the state that you're in, but this is not the capital for the country. The main temple for Serenade is in the capital.
Yeah, I still have to go through the procedure of being a member of Serenade, yada yada, to get the formula and whatnot.
But yeah, he points out, you know, like the tallest structure in the entire city. That is the tower of the Dawn Castle of Serenade. It is the morning light. So like in the morning, when the dawn comes up, it catches the sunlight. Is the first thing to catch the sun when it comes up in the morning, and it glows like a torch. Yeah. Otherwise, though, he leads you across a big, stately courtyard into the Oglyre Fortress and into the huge ass like keep that they have there. It is worth noting as you guys go in that you see less and less like imprint of the Empire. The further you get into it, it becomes very much old school Uxland. The deeper you get towards the main buildings. You see less and less Imperial people, but the few Imperials that you do see are dressed like couriers and not like merchants, but more like nobles, diplomats, people of state, kind of like thing. And as you guys are approaching the main building, however, a Imperial boy, teenager, really. He's like somewhere between like 13 and 15.
Oh, damn, bro.
He comes up as the knights are like, stopping their horses and getting off their horses and whatnot. This page comes up to Edisk and like, gets up close to him and like says something like in a low whisper, and Edisk like nods his head and like gestures off, and the page like turns around and scampers away. But Edisk taps Vine on the shoulder, and he's like, "Sorry, I would continue with you to speak with the Jarl, but I've just been made aware of the Pathfinder on. I need to go handle that. But I will catch up as soon as I can." Yes, he said there's a Pathfinder waiting on, and that he's going to go back to his office to deal with that, and he'll catch up with you guys later.
Nice. Okay. Was
the
there
concept of Pathfinders that'll go in the back of the head?
Yeah.
No.
So, Edisk bids you all a very quick, brusque goodbye. Like he gives you an imperial salute. Clicks his heels together, turns around and marches off to go handle whatever the hell that's all about. Which leaves Vine and his junior guard or his junior knight. Junior is purely title, not he ain't small.
This ain't no kid, right?
Yeah, this ain't no kid.
This ain't no kid soldier.
Yeah, his second in command, basically. They walk you guys up into the main building. They do ask you to leave Mr. Servos out here with the horses.
I'm sorry, Mr. Servos.
Beep. Sad beeps and boops.
Yeah, we'll be back soon, he says.
This should not take very long. We just merely need to step in, talk to Forney, let him know that you are merchants from the Empire. You just simply came up with a boat that flies, and just let him know that you will be here in town doing merchant stuff. Should be quick, 5-10 minute meeting at most. Unless, of course, you've got any sort of deep questions for him. Though I'd keep it down. He just, looking at the time, he's probably just recently had dinner, and he'll want to have a nap soon.
Out of character, Jesus, kind of just a big baby or something.
Yeah.
Well,
for a nap soon.
As it turns out, Vine leads you up into a large, throne room, essentially. And at the far end of this throne room, there is a big, dais that's got 2 thrones on it, one of which is empty. The other one has a older guy sitting in it. He is kind of thin looking under his robes, and he is in his 60s if he's a day. But so he's a relatively elder gentleman. But he's well groomed. He's very well taken care of. He's got a big fat book in his hands, and there is in fact a folding table next to him that's got plates and a couple of cups on it, because he did apparently just get finished eating.
Now he's CP.
Damn, bro.
But Vine walks you guys up, and as you get close, Jarl Forney marks his place in the book and sets that aside. Gets to his feet with a little bit of a strained grunt of ugh. And then steps forward with grace and whatnot to meet the party. And we go through the same rigmarole that we've been going all this sort of thing. Who the heck are you? Are you the people who showed up in the checks notes flying boat? That sort of stuff.
That would be us, sir.
Yep.
Yes, that would be us. Yeah, we're here on mercantile business specifically.
Commander Vine also requests, from you to hand over the paperwork so that, the boss here can take a look at it. And
Tim opens his pack and passes all the paperwork.
Yeah, he opens his briefcase. He's miraculously put on
back in his suit and tie, just Saul Goodman.
Vine passes that to Jarl Forney, and Jarl Forney squints at it for a second, and then he like snaps his fingers and like manifests a pair of like glasses, puts it on his nose, straightens up the papers, holds them at like arm's length so he can really read. And he's like, okay. Yes, I see here. And I see signature from other Jarl. Okay. This looks good to me. This is good paper. This does not look counterfeit.
Yes, we are from the humble representatives of the Athena workshop.
Well, you as a Kitty woman, you are Fino?
Yes, I am her, Miss Califino of the Athena workshop.
I have not seen Ocean as her Kitty in a long time. And you look... I do not mean this as insult. You look young to be running a whole workshop.
Callie laughs that off. It's like, I mean, no, I don't take any offense from that. If anything, that is most a compliment to me, she says.
I am a bit of a wizard, and I have dealt with a lot of apprentices in the past. Some of them were blind people. And if you are like this, Miss Fino, blindingly brilliant, motivated to change the world, and you are doing so through commerce, well, you know what? I appreciate that. I respect your go-getism. As has probably been communicated to you by Commander Vine here, you are welcome in Shawbury to do business. It says here that you do furniture and other general general goods. I know from my partnership with the Empire means basically anything. They like to be squirrely with their words, and I do not expect any different from you. So I don't want you to think that you are going to like sweep something past me just because we come from different culture and I am an old man. But I really only have one.
Trust me, I wasn't planning on trying to do that. Mr. Jarl says.
This is good, and this is very good, but I do have a rule that I try to... All of the merchants who are not Oxland natives too. He's a bit of double standard, I know, but I have learned that the Empire is full of a lot of people like you who are very smart and able to put things together, and some of these things are dangerous. So, I have a partnership, just to be very clear with you. I have a partnership with the Imperial military. The Imperial military is allowed to purchase raw materials from us, which they can use however they see fit, which probably means it will be put into weapons or something. That part I don't have to care about. It happens away from here. That's all that to me. But if you are reselling weapons, whether they were made in the Empire or not, I need you to fill out some additional paperwork in order to allow that. Additionally, I must be very clear with this, weapon sales, including if you put together some sort of potion or a mixture or whatnot that is flammable or explosive, these things, they must be sold within a certain area. I would also, of course, ask that you don't cheat my people, price-wise, but really, the important part is that you only sell in a certain area and only with people who have verified identification. I don't want any of this explosive crap getting into some random Billy Bob Thornton hands and accidentally blowing up a barn.
Callie's like, oh no, I understand completely. Could you tell me exactly where this area is that I need? Say if I were to sell such armaments, where is the specific designated location?
It is. I would assume that you walk past towns on the way.
Shit, that was a question I should have asked him about the laws of selling firearms.
When you cross the fairgrounds, on the other side of the in the area that or Old Gate, there is a designated market square where weapon sales may be done. It is mostly Imperials there, just to be clear, but some of my people have need for these weapons, and if they are allowed to have them, they will have documentation. They are allowed to.
Alright.
I want to also further be clear that if you make a transaction with somebody who is not registered to buy these sort of things and we find out about it, well, it would be very rude of death immediately, but that's kind of the sort of thing that happens. Don't sell it to nobody who's supposed to not have it.
No, I understand. Callie nudges Tim. It's like, we might need to fill out some. She says to him, "It's like we might need to fill out that extra paperwork here on
100%.
selling armament."
I'm good at identification.
You do have that, because I might want to fill out that paperwork. Do you have that paperwork on hand at this specific moment, or
not at this specific moment? But I can get it to you within the next 10 minutes if you give me a little bit of time.
Yes. I am. I can wait. She says.
All right, this is good. Otherwise, I would like to officially extend welcome to Shogun, and I hope that you have good business with us, as well as just generally enjoy time while you are here. Tell your friends back in the Empire about how nice it is. It will do us some good when it comes to further future trade.
Kai chuckles a little, just like, "Oh, I'll sure do so." And she bows a little.
Can I do a perception check on the Jarl?
Sure. What are you trying to perceive?
Just how much of his words are his own? Is he speaking for a group? Just a general vibe check, I guess, is what I'm calling.
Are you
Okay. All right. Go for a vibe check.
Checking to see if he's reading the script that somebody has written for him?
Not my best, but I'm not. I can't re-roll, so.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. I mean, he's the Jarl of this entire town. I would be incredibly surprised. Well, I say I'd be incredibly surprised. I would be surprised in general if there was a group that was controlling this entire town and it hadn't already been noticed.
I mean, as far as you can tell, he doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to be lying. He doesn't seem to be intentionally obfuscating the point or talking about in a roundabout way or anything like that. So he seems to be fairly genuine and fairly upfront with the yeah, we don't care if you sell weapons. It's just you have to sell to somebody who's got proper identification, and it has to happen in a specific location. Otherwise, it's illegal, and the punishment is death.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Yeah, understand. Callie's next question then is, what are the laws about defending yourself in this country or this place, this town? Yeah, generally.
If you should find yourself in conflict with some shogun, there are. If you defend yourself because you are being attacked, and let's say, or you cause noise and guards show up, if we are talking about a situation where someone is severely wounded or perhaps perishes, it depends a lot on who is hurt and who is dead. We do not try to assume things based off of hearsay. We will use magic to determine truth if there is question of it.
Okay.
That's ominous. The Callie's like, that is alright. I just needed to know.
Clarification.
No. I see from the signature that you have been to, and I know how it is in Sea. They, long time ago, have some bad situations which lead to that thing. Me, I do not see it that way. I do not have any problem with anyone business or living life here in Shawbury. I can use anybody who's got two hands and most of their thumbs. So I'm not going to turn you away just because you don't have same heritage like I do, or most of the other people here. I don't have problem with that. No, I don't care that you are not human. So long as you follow our laws, and so long as you, are not being nuisance, then should not be any issue whatsoever. If you are attacked by somebody, then you may defend yourself. But like I say, we will try to determine truth, and kind of depending on, the outcome of the encounter, will determine how. If you were to say, I don't know, kill one of the lead guards or something like that, were it to be a situation like that, you would be put down probably on the spot.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, makes sense.
But if you were just accosted by some ruffian in a alleyway, then sucks to be them, I guess.
Yeah. Out of character question. The country we are in, Uxland, it's would our characters know the majority of the race that would make up the population of Uxland?
I think wasn't it the cook that said that it's a majority human or whatever?
It is majority human,
okay.
Although that is with a hefty asterisk next to it.
Gotcha.
There's so technically, but rules wise, Torque has human as a tag on her character. So she is, because she's Dromar, she is half orc, but she's also half human. And then say if you had a character who is from human parents, but they are a Nephilim, then they also have the human tag. So therefore they count in the census as human. So that sort of thing is generally how they do it here in Shawbury. So while it is 98% human, some of those humans have an asterisk next to them because they're sort of human plus.
Because he was saying we don't discriminate, and then I was looking at the 98% human. I was like, you don't, but, and then I was like, how much of the country is human? Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So the country is majority, overwhelmingly majority human. However, there are certain areas where that is not the case. There are certain areas
around that.
Where there's certain areas that are not human. You guys know because you did run into one when you guys were down in Vault Chamomile. There was a quote unquote bug person who is actually called a Galoma, and he was buying weapons for an ongoing conflict between his people and the humans in Uxland. And that's also something nobody has said a damn word about.
Well,
So,
good thing we haven't been identified.
Yeah, so there are bug people somewhere in this country. Exactly where that is, yeah, you haven't seen any of them. There definitely been none of them walking around.
Not my horses, not my circus. So, I ain't funding no rebellion. So
I put it down on my note sheet, so it's maybe my circus.
Maybe, yeah. Depending on what we find out, it might be.
Yeah, no, I'm just, yeah.
Okay, so otherwise, you guys currently have a semi-private, standing here with the Jarl. He's not currently busy doing any any active governance or anything like that. So if you guys have any other questions or anything you want to ask him or Commander Vine, who is here, feel free to do so. I'm going to stand up for a brief moment and close my door.
I'm thinking what would be another good. I had a question in my head that'd be a quick and easy to answer question, but I've forgotten it somehow.
I guess I'll just ask him a straight up question of where did how have you seen an area? I was told from somebody in the last city that automatons have been seen in this city. Do you happen to know where they would congregate or where they've been most seen?
You want to ask him about automatons?
Yeah, just I let him know that somebody in Oakham that we were in told me that the last time that they saw somebody like me, an automaton, was here in Shoebury, and I was wondering if you happen to know where they either congregate or where they're most often seen.
He says that as far as automatons are concerned, there's basically only one population of them here, if you can even call it that. They are all, as far as he is aware, and as far as even Commander Vine's as far as I know, is that they are all soldiers or laborers, or possibly both, working for the Imperial forces.
Huh.
And they don't make up a large portion of the Imperial force. The Imperial forces are almost a 50-50 split between humans and halflings. And then they have a sprinkling of other races mixed in there, but the largest minority race in there is automatons. But they are almost all laborers or soldiers, one way or the other.
Interesting.
So yeah, they definitely are here. And as far as congregation, he is where the rest of the Imperials are, but beyond that, he doesn't know any. They don't know any specific do they all hang out at some specific
Gotcha.
location.
Yes.
Can I I guess when Tim brings up automatons, or when okay, sorry, getting a little tongue tied. Just can I make a perception check if they seem a bit antsy at the mention of automatons or no?
Yes, you can make that perception check.
Okay.
Smart.
As good as any perception check.
Oh, it's 28.
There we go.
Not bad.
It's not bad. Okay, so on the on the Jarl's part, he doesn't seem particularly antsy or anything like that. But Commander Vine, he has a very briefly, he has a look on his face where you can tell that he's internally debating on how much he wants to contribute to this conversation. He's probably not giving you everything.
Callie, in order to wind tensions down a little bit, just so that we don't, just so suspicion isn't placed on us entirely, she slaps Tim on the back. She's like, that's our good old Tim. He's always asking every single person everywhere we go if there's automatons. He just likes hanging out with them, you know? He likes being among his people, you know? She says.
It's mildly racist, but...
Tim, you can't. His face is stuck in one position, so he can't express his emotions. But you can almost feel the aura of, like, the sigh. It's just.
Callie then whispers in his ears, like, "My man, you're asking about automatons to the Ural. I have to wind tensions down so they don't suspect us of anything suspicious."
Well, they again, they don't really know any specific places. However, Commander Vine does say that perhaps the next time you speak with Officer Edix, he may have more personal
Imperial
information on that. He is Imperial, and not only is he Imperial, but he is basically the Imperial liaison with them. So anything that has to do with the Imperial forces that are here, Edisk is like the guy to talk to for that.
He got underlined.
Okay. Underline it, yeah. I don't know if this is a good question to ask the Ural. I mean, might as well while we're here, obviously. Kelly asks, is like, I've been looking for a merchant of some aspect to help build up our, well, I would say the town that my workshop is located in with mercantile enterprises, per se. Do you know anybody who would be good in such matters that you would recommend who might want to take a shot at something like that? She asks.
You mean like a local associate for you to do direct business?
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Well, it would depend on what specifically you are looking to sell. If it is furniture, as it is on your sheet here, then well, there are a couple of crafts folk I can think of off the top of my head that you might want to go to. Which I guess let me ask you a bit of a question about that, Miss Swino. The furniture that you make, is it it is furniture for humans, right?
Humans,
you know, like chairs, tables. I mean,
a
like
little
chairs.
bit of a mixture of. Oh, yeah. That's mostly human. But I can make chairs for non-humans, but mostly most of the furniture we have is for humans. Yes.
Okay. Related to that, do you do decorative flourish, or is this more functional? I believe Imperials sometimes call it a symbol.
We do both. We do simple craftsmanship for purpose, but we can also do decorative flourish if asked to.
Okay. The reason I ask this is because there is an aspect of furniture here that we normally fulfill this need through donation. We don't have anybody who makes it specific, but pardon me. But I have been told by the priestess over in the halls of rest that they are in need of furniture that can withstand a dark, cold, damp conditions for extended period. If you could make furniture like that, I know that she would be much happier than dealing with hand-me-downs all the time.
Callie is like, oh, we can do that. We craft specialty items if asked to. She writes that down under the thing under farm equipment. And he's like, yes, I can talk with my workers about that.
All right. And I will move the Halls of Rest onto the map. Okay. So, but yeah, he says specifically, if you're willing to do that, that you'd like to go to, you would want to go to the Halls of Rest, and you would specifically want to speak with the priestess Ogi.
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 Oogie boogie.
You can't miss her.
Man.
You can't miss her. Priestess Ogi.
Wrote the name down. This paper is already almost full.
Is it Oogie? Or
It's Ollgi.
GI.
Olgi.
Oh,
Olgi.
Olgi.
like
Olgi.
Olga.
Priestess Ogi.
Priestess Ogi. Can't miss her. She sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh.
The giant sore thumb.
Oh, damn. Wait, what?
Priestess Olgi.
Priestess
Ogi.
Callie does another curtsy. Callie then asks the rest of the party, she's like, do you guys got any other business here? Do you want to ask the Earl anything? She specifically says Earl, by the way.
Earl.
My name is Earl.
Not particular, unless we still got to sign that paperwork.
Yeah, we might. I might need you to do a legal check.
Yeah, I got you.
What's Torque doing a thievery skill for?
Reggie?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
Can I, did he bring out the paperwork?
Yes, he brings out the additional paperwork.
Do a quick
that-
legal lore check.
All right, do a legal lore check, please.
Mr. Lawyer Man.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Damn,
man.
we gotta get Tim like a suit or something.
He does have a suit and tie. He always brings it out whenever he's asked to show paperwork.
Whips it out. Just...
So, Tim, with your understanding of legal stuff, you can see that this is definitely a contract in a Uxlan style, but it has been adopted for Imperial, so it fits with within that system that you are more familiar with. And it is very basically just this is paperwork that says that this merchant, the undersigned, is known to produce and or sell weapons, explosives, and other substances of noted danger to the public. They are allowed by power of the Jarl in the city of Showberry, within the walls, to sell these materials in the designated spot for that, and only to individuals that are identified to be allowed to this. And it has a little picture that's like drawn on there of like, this is what the identification looks like. It's got to look like this in order for you to sell it to them. It's basically a card that they would like carry, like an ID card.
Okay.
It says that I'm allowed to buy it.
So intermediately, when we're selling guns and weapons, we gotta play Papers, Please, and look through all of their documentation.
While I'm looking through this, I go, if somebody comes up and requests something that is not a firearm or danger to public health, can we sell it to them without identification?
Yes. If it is if it is a physical good that is not harmful to the general public, then this is allowed. However, and he does lean in close. He's like, I know this does not say this on the contract, but if you try to get around this by making argument that certain item is not harmful when we all fucking know it is harmful, we don't treat that kindly. Basically, just don't fuck us and you're okay.
Understood. We should be all good, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm not planning on selling something that's considered not a firearm when it clearly is a firearm. So
I would never lower myself to sell fake guns.
I would never lie and say that what they're buying.
Now,
is not
toy firearms. Tim goes on a tangent for a few seconds before goes. Anyway, you're good to sign it, Miss Fino.
Yes, I will sign it, and she signs it with her signature.
I'll go ahead and tell you, Tim. These people don't think that it is morally correct for you to sell toys to children that are designed after weapons of war.
Mm. Do you sell
no
toy
Nerf
swords?
guns? No.
No Nerf guns. No Nerf nuclear bomb.
Do you sell toy swords, wooden swords, shields, that sort of thing?
No, they're not labeled as toys.
Ah, they're labeled as training items. Ah.
I mean, yeah,
they're labeled.
yeah.
They're labeled as sports equipment. And they specifically sell quite a lot of them over at Play Hard Field.
Play Hard Field. Mm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
putting that in the notebook.
Writing
which
that
is another
down.
thing
Writing
to
that
bring
down.
on. Which is another thing to bring onto the map.
Oh gosh! All right, we probably Oh god, we might have to like go and talk to all these people and sell shit, bro.
I was gonna say,
it's over there. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I have given you guys a shitload of different locations that you could go to for different things.
Tim crouches down to Callie's eye level. Like, can you make a duplicate of that door? Because then I could go set up a shop at Play Hard Fields. Then we'd have 2 doors.
Callie's like, how much money do you have?
The special materials that Callie would need for that is going to cost a lot of money.
254 gold pieces and 75 platinum pieces.
That might actually be enough. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tim does not spend money.
Making a second door.
You don't need food. It's like, what are you gonna spend?
I don't need to eat. All my money goes to buying things that I might need. The only thing is, I have an IOU to a wizard.
Not charging you rent, so.
I know, right?
Hold on, let me look up.
Well, I mean, she is charging you rent.
I'm paying for it in a different way.
Ayo.
I'm paying for it in hard steel. In that, I mean, I help make things for her.
Theoretically, because you said 250 gold pieces, right?
Yeah, 245 gold. 254 gold pieces.
Well, if you're serious about it, that making a second workshop door actually would be feasible with that amount of money. By the way, it's only like 200 gold pieces to make another one. So that is on the table.
On the docket, I'm writing it down.
That is on the table.
That is a thing you could do, actually.
We'll talk about it later when we get back to our sleeping area.
It might actually be a good idea. It could be like a house moving castle thing where we just have a shop set up here or something where we just constantly go back and forth.
That's smart. Anyway, later.
It's a good idea if we don't get arrested for Grand Theft, Soulstones.
Yeah. We say in Draconic.
Okay, well. So, after you sign off the paperwork and all of that stuff, and he gives you a copy that says that you are a merchant who is allowed to sell these items in the specified market for them. They will ask for identification before they allow you to set up a stall to sell guns or anything else.
Callie asks as just like an off chance thing. It's like, on the off chance I encounter somebody with identification that is almost discernible from real identification, and I sell weapons to that person, and they go do something illegal. Am I the one in trouble for that, or would they still be the one in trouble for that, per se?
Let me ask you a equal hypothetical question. Do you know that identification is false before you sell it?
Well, I'm gonna try my best to look through all the identification, make sure all the information is correct. Do you guys have like, I don't know, like information as to how we can identify identification correctly, just so that we don't accidentally sell it to the wrong people, you know?
Tim points to the like thing that we just signed. It's like it's got a picture right here that shows.
I mean, a picture is nice, but information is nicer, I will say.
It's true.
Like, you know, like a documentation listing all the stuff on how to identify a real identification card or whatever.
The identification that they will have an official seal from my office, and he shows you what that looks like. It will also be printed on a very thick, heavy paper, so that it is, firm. If it is, if you get the feeling that the identification that is presented to you is not real, it would be my strong suggestion that you do not go forward with sale. It would be
alright.
It would be bad for us to, have a talented
we can
merchant.
reserve the right to refuse service.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Holly,
have.
Holly's sitting there, already forged documents herself, knows very well the ins and outs of that.
Yeah. Our two options are a pissed off customer or a pissed off city. So I'd rather have a customer
Yeah,
upset
I'd rather
with
have
us.
a pissed off. Yeah, you are right. Indeed, the
Welcome to
circumstances.
the freaking ATF, I guess.
Welcome to the commerce.
Otherwise, Miss Spino and associates, if you don't see any particular problem with the identification that is presented to you and you make a sale, they pay you the amount that you request for the item, then after that item leaves your hands, it's not your problem. We're not going to blame you for a crime committed with a weapon that you sold that person. You are not the one making them do the crime. So there's that. However, a crime does happen if you sell it to someone with a fake ID that you could easily see was a fake ID before you make the sale. That is all that we ask you to do, is to be vigilant and try not to sell it.
It's almost suspicious that we're like following the law closely in a way.
Yes, there is one thing. This is not codified. It may be codified. I am thinking about adding it to the laws, but we have, under advisement, actually, from Imperials, we have taken it to not allowing pages to carry the identification of their masters in order to make purchases on their behalf. So if a child approaches you, but they have an actual identification, we ask you to please not make that sale to them. It's not illegal, but rather not. It is a thing that has been brought to our attention as a safety concern.
Yeah, I will make sure not to do that. I thought it was about to go the other way around, where they're like, "Yeah, you could sell a gun to that kid." I'm like,
Well, they're advising you to not do that, but they're also telling you they don't specifically have a law that says you can't.
Oh, uh-huh. Well,
he's thinking about making it. He's thinking about making it a law. He just hasn't yet. So they're asking you, please don't do that.
I'll make sure of that, I do want to conduct business here amicably, so...
Good. We are always glad to have merchants from the Empire. Business with them for over 2 decades. It has actually been quite a good time between us and them. It has made us a very wealthy city. Shawbury has become what you call like a crown jewel for all of Oxford. And it better be, actually, considering the amount of taxes I end up paying to the High Jarl.
I see.
But that is not conversation for pleasantries like this.
Yes.
I would like to bid you people a good evening. I wish you luck in your financial endeavors. And if anything does happen, if you do come across someone who has obviously false identification, it is not your duty to report these things to us, but we would appreciate it if you did.
I
List the names. Got it.
Well, I mean, we'll always keep a backlog of purchases and names and people if we can.
They're asking you to snitch.
Well, if it means getting out of trouble, then yeah.
Maybe. Tim thinks to himself, depends on the person.
If the person comes up and says, "Hey, yo, I'll give you a barrel of soul gems to commit a riot," you know, there might be a conflict of interest there.
Might be a sudden riot out of nowhere that had nothing to do with us, and we're gone.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, Jarl Forney is like, it's my nap time. So you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take a nap. Yeah, like you blink and suddenly he's just dressed for bed. But like,
and it's time for Betty's nap.
Okay.
What time is it?
What time is it, if I may ask?
It is actually quite literally like just around noon. Like this man's about to take a midday nap.
Oh. Yeah, that's possible. I was thinking of going to the halls of rest.
But Commander Vine is otherwise going to like escort you guys out of the fortress, and then once you're back into the courtyard, effectively free to go in whichever way direction you want.
All right, time to commit crime.
No.
He pulls out a gun and shoots the first guard she sees.
Spang! Tim,
who did this?
Who could have done it?
Man, who killed this man?
Tim turns around to Commander Vine and says, "Where's the local inn, the place where travelers can stay?"
Where do merchants usually rest?
Yes.
Callie adds.
Better.
What you said.
There are several inns in the market town section. You can essentially find an inn in practically every except Honeyfair. There aren't any inns in Honeyfair. But you can find.
I mean,
you can find
like an industrial sector, so I wouldn't want to live there either. So.
Oh no! Honeyfair. That's where the old money lives.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It's the
fancy ass. Like the people who run the companies. That's where they live.
Mr. Rockefeller.
Yeah, that's where they live. But like all of the other areas, you can find taverns in. Dawnward, you may not be able to find any vacancies. It tends to be the one that's kind of your high roller location, and they tend to be.
Well, I mean, we're not paying. We're not.
They tend to be booked up. If you really want to cheat, if you really want to cheap yourself, well, you can go out to the slums. Or you can head out to Wolf Rise, which is where a lot of the Imperials have like locations. So if you want to sleep around other Imperials, that's the place to go.
It's good to know where the Imperials are, even if we don't stay there.
That is true. Yes. Callie, it's like, well, I'm fine with like somewhere in the middle. Where it's
somewhere close to the fairgrounds would be good.
Yeah, fairgrounds would be probably a good idea, exactly, so that we can get a good merchant stall spot.
I was gonna say Tim only needs 2 hours of sleep, so
he's gonna be like, all right, pitch a tent here.
Yeah, at 3 in the morning while everybody's still asleep, Tim will just go out and sit in the spot.
Tim is like the elf.
Yeah,
they just need to meditate for a bit.
He's like, I can't believe he's gonna be one of those people that sit out for the premiere of something. Outside in a giant line or something.
All right. So, the party is now free to go. Where does the party want to go?
personally, since Halls of Rest is close by and they gave us that direction, I'm fine. Does anybody else have objections to going there? And talking to the nuns and doing the one thing we kind of told everybody we do, which is sell furniture?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, at least it'd probably be a good idea, at least for appearances wise.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right. So the party heads towards the Hall of Rest. The Hall of Rest, when you get there, is a single-story wide building. It is, roughly speaking, it's about the same size of the warehouse that you guys were in Oakham fought Ghost at. As far as just like, acreage that it covers. It's a very large, low to the ground, and it has curved walls that like slope down to meet the ground. So like, if it wasn't covered in snow, you could theoretically like climb the walls with your hands up onto the roof. Like it'd be like going up a
yes, I climb up to the roof and I go through the roof window, and everybody's like, "Why are you on the top floor? Why didn't you just go through the entrance?"
Well,
Like a normal
as you're approaching it, not only is there that, but like there is actually like stairs which have been carved into the snow, and on top of the building there are multiple small mounds, and out of these small mounds, which have little like holes near the base of the mound, there's apparently also a hole near the top of the mound, and out of a couple of them you see thin curl smokes coming out of these little mounds on top of the building. But the main building has big double doors, which have a very obvious holy symbol carved onto them. Let me tell you what it looks like.
Callie pushes through the double doors and she's like, "I'm gonna pull up with my pyramid crew, my straight up darkness gang. If the witness gave me this massive drip, I am decked the fuck out."
He just flicks Callie in the back of the head. What are you talking about?
Let's see here. Okay, yeah. What does this thing look like? Oh, it's just the face of the skull of a goat.
Okay, cool.
Oh, all right.
It's the skull of a goat with like handles or spokes or something coming out from around it.
And this is what?
It's a holy symbol. Would you like to make a religion check if you're trained in religion?
I am not trained in religion.
I will make a religion check for my man Tim here.
It's a DC 20.
Oh damn! All right.
Let's go.
Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Shit, bro.
I like how everybody's trained in religion but Tim, which I guess makes sense. He's the
Well,
robot.
I mean, yeah.
He don't.
I mean, would Tim really believe in a religion, being a robot and everything?
Oh wow.
Oh my god, dude! Why is everybody just like, yeah, I know what that is.
You know what? Sure, I'll do it. Damn.
I mean,
Oh,
I
damn,
guess
he's the one person.
the skull kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does. It does stick out like a sore thumb. That is the holy symbol of the god Orcus.
Oh.
Orcus is a known demon lord.
Deep cut.
Like my kind of people, gotta sell some furniture to them.
Deep cut. Isn't that the same temple, or formerly was the temple that we found those poisonous plants in? Like way back at the beginning.
No, wasn't that like no? I think that was different. Wasn't it like a god of the sea or something like that?
No, yeah, no.
That was Dagon, who is
Dagon.
also a demon lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Different
Dagon and Orcus are basically co-workers in the like grand scale of like demon gods. They don't like each other, but like.
Oh, well,
but,
then this will be
yeah.
perfect, and I'll go sell furniture to this demon lord because they don't like each other.
Now, since Laria and Torque and Callie, however, though, your religion checks are good enough to know that, like, even though Orc is a demon demon lord deity. You don't, technically speaking, have to be evil to worship to worship Orcus. You don't have to be evil. The vast majority of them are, but you don't have to be.
Sounding more and more like my people. Okay, time to go sell furniture to them.
Callie becomes a cleric of Orcus.
The other thing that Orcus is well known about, and everybody would know this, is that Orcus is also kind of famous about like undeath.
Oh yeah, no, this sounds yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of famously related with undeath, necromancy, and stuff like that.
Oh man, my people. Anyway.
But yeah, so it's just right there. Symbol of Orcus, just right there on the doors. And when you go over there, and like when you guys get there and like knock on the door, the doors, like you hear the unlatching, and the doors push open, and pushing open the doors are 2 zombies.
Oh.
Huh.
Damn, I didn't know necromancy was allowed in this town.
Like zombies who are like dressed in breastplate with chainmail armor. They have swords strapped to their sides. Like this is all like dress plate, like parade armor. And they open the doors very stately and then bow to you.
Can I do some kind of like history check about what I remember from Uxland? Like I remember there was a thing they were saying that undeath isn't a specific kind of undeath is not a bad thing. They see it as good, but a different kind is like incredibly disrespectful.
Yes. Make a society check.
Can I do one as well?
Yes, you can. Anybody who wants to can decide.
Oh, damn, Tim.
Oh, dang.
Oh, ding dang. Look at y'all. Okay, so, yeah. That's good enough. I mean, we're looking for DC 20 here. But what you pull out, Tim, as you think about it, it's like, oh, yeah. In Uxland, they see physical, dried out, like jerkified undead as protectors and as honored like ancestors. Like they are a welcome part of the community. Like they don't want them out on display most of the time, but like but they don't see them as bad so long as they are properly preserved, and the reason they've been resurrected is for the purposes of protecting the community and stuff like that. Ancestor worship is a big deal here. Uncorporeal undead, like ghosts and spirits, like Smogdad, those are bad. Those are real bad. And these people have been known to take extreme measures to get rid of ghosts. Because they see any spirit that sticks around who isn't sticking around purely to like pass on some sort of like vital knowledge and then immediately fuck off is bad. So yeah, they don't like spirits. However, zombies, like the kinds that you're right here, they are here specifically. They want them here.
Okay.
And skeletons.
They only want undead here. Specifically, the undead are here on good terms.
Technically speaking, skeletons are also included in that. However, generally speaking, when the undead reach skeleton stage, that's essentially it's time to put them down. Like that's
like okay, now you're done.
Yeah, like now you are done. It is time to put you. It is time to rebox you up.
Gotcha. Okay. Dope.
But yeah. Other than the zombies, as you go into like the main room, there are several other dead or possibly undead bodies that are in repose, that are kind of propped up in like open coffins and whatnot for display. They have plaques that have like names and dates on them. A lot of them are surrounded by flowers, fresh flowers, and burning incense and all that sort of stuff. Like very much a honorary thing is going on. And towards the back of this main room, there is light coming out of one of the doors, and you can hear like murmuring of voices.
Callie says an Aquila. It's like, okay, that's a little weird. I was fine with the zombies, but that part is a little weird. But yeah, she continues to the. Can I discern if the voices are like in any language I understand?
As you get closer, you hear. Let me tell you what we got here. Obviously, there is some common mixed in, and it does sound like a chant. You know, like somebody's like a religious chant. But let me tell you specifically.
What does this smell like in here? Tim can't
potpourri.
smell poper. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a heavy like whiff of patchouli.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right. What a peculiar smell, I guess.
Yes. Okay. So there is a combination of common, a little bit of Jotun, and a little bit of Aklo.
Oh shit! I should have spoken in Aqua in this place. Then they might have heard me disrespecting their rituals or whatever.
Now, does it? Ooh, that might mean that it's whatever language we can understand.
I mean, somebody in the party speaks Aklo, somebody in the party speaks Jotun, everybody speaks common.
Huh.
I mean,
So, and it is a mixture back and forth of all of it. There are two voices. Both of them sound feminine, and as you get one of them sounds like old, and the other one sounds less old, but not young.
Mature, but not old.
Yeah, definitely mature. And basically, when you guys get to the, turn the corner to see what's up, you have a smaller, like, off chamber that has a couple of like full blaze burning braziers going on. The ceiling is coated in like a thick layer of mist and fog and like smoke that's coming off of the braziers. It does not. It's smoky in here, but it's not like choking or anything like that.
It's mostly like incense.
Yes, mostly incense, that sort of thing. And it is providing lighting. And in the middle of this room, there is essentially a altar table, and on this altar table there is a fresh-looking dead guy who is dressed in like workers' clothing. Honestly, he looks like a miner. And like
let's go, child murder.
Like he's got a pick, like a pickaxe next to him, and like all the little stuff that like says that this guy was a miner. And there is an older woman who is dressed like just a regular citizen who is there, and she is doing this like it's like a call and recall sort of like chant thing with the other person, and the other person is robed, although the shape says feminine, but like she is hunched over, like where the other woman is just standing there like a regular woman. The other woman is hunched because she's approaching Gloria in like height.
Damn! I see.
Kind of like thing, and she is clearly the one who is leading this like little enchantment thing. She is dangling from out of the hood of her robe and everything is a very clearly silver holy symbol of Orcus. And as they're going on, the dead body blinks, opens its eyes, blinks, and then sits up. And the tall lady, she glances in y'all's direction for a moment, and then looks back over, and the regular-sized human woman, she addresses the corpse, and she says, "Bori, are you in there? Are you still in there, Bori?" And the corpse just looks at her, like does not really have any sort of reaction. And you can just see her sort of like drain tension, and she's like, "Oh, thank goodness."
So they're just wanting to bring the body back and leave the spirit out of it. Makes sense.
I am so glad. Thank you. Thank you. You have made sure that his spirit has gone on to Pharasma.
Okay.
Can I come by and visit him? And the taller woman says, "Yes, you may come by whenever you want to see him. He will not remember you for his spirit. If you wish to honor his body at any point, you always will."
I don't know how I'd feel about somebody skin puppeting my significant other around while they pass on the afterlife, but that's just me, I guess.
But the regular lady turns and notices you guys, and she startles for a second, and then she's like, "Oh, pardon me. My husband has passed away, and the priestess here was simply seeing over his final rites to make sure that his spirit was not hanging around and had gone on to his rightful rest. And now he may rest, and his body can be put to use." Excuse me. I need to. I need. She doesn't even finish. She just sort of bows her head, kind of walks out. While the taller woman stands all the way to her impressive, nearly 8-foot height, and just kind of clasps her hands together. Under her hood, just so that you guys know, there is a cloth mask, that covers her actual face.
All right.
Although you can see some features, you really can't see what's going on under the mask. But she stands up, and then she kind of gives you guys just a wave, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
Callie's she snaps out of her what the fuck did I just watch? Trance is "Oh yeah, I'm here on business." She's like, "Oh yeah, I am Miss Fino of the Fino Workshop, trademarked. The Ural said that your covenant of nuns was in the market for some furniture or something along those lines."
"Oh, yes. I did say to the Jarl that we needed some replacements. The furniture down here tends to rot pretty quickly because of the moisture and all of the fungus."
Yes, the Ural did mention something about it wanting the furniture to be both decorative but last a really long time. He mentioned that in the description for which he needed, and I was just here to offer my services as but a humble furniture salesman. She says, grinning really bigly.
"Oh, well, that is very unexpected, but a pleasant surprise. Welcome to the Halls of Rest. I am called Olgi. I am the priestess here. There aren't many other nuns, I should be clear with you, but we do have quite a lot of Draugr who, are always making sure that all of the members are receiving proper rest and care. I know that this is probably not a common thing. I've had a couple of visitors from that are Imperial, and they reacted in they were a bit off-put. I understand that this is not something that is common in the Empire, so if it comes off as a bit weird, I apologize."
Callie mentions it is a bit unusual, but I mean, honestly, I've seen weirder. It's fine.
"Oh, well, I guess that's good that you have encountered strangeness that makes you not scream and pull knives That is positive.
Have you had knives pulled on you before?
Oh yes, I have had knives. I've had axes. One very incensed man. One time he pulled out a crossbow and fired it at me. Thankfully, he was a very bad shot.
Well, you will not expect any of that from us. We have traveled a lot. We've seen a lot, so it'd have to be very unusual for it to alert us in any sort of manner.
Well, I'm glad to hear this from you. This is good news for me. If you will give me just a moment, we can engage in the discussion of trade and the furniture that would be appropriate. I simply need to get this Draugr into his station. If you will give me just a few minutes. They're a little stiff when they are first raised up, and sometimes their balance is not great, but just give him a minute. And then she very cautiously helps this zombie sit up and then get to his feet, and she hands him his pickaxe and all that sort of stuff, and she's making these murmuring gestures, like she's trying to guide a particularly dense animal to follow her along, and she walks this guy over to a little carved in standing position in the wall, and she gets him into there, and then she has to grab him by the shoulders and get him to turn around so he's facing out of the wall and not just standing there facing into the closet.
Facing just in the corner.
Yeah, and she just turns him gently and gets him to look that way, and then she puts her fingers on his eyes and slowly gets him to close his eyelids. And then she turns back to you guys and she's like, "Okay, now that he's in his place, you say you make furniture that could withstand the environment down here." And
yeah, can do that. I could.
I do have. I guess I do have an immediate question. Since you are Imperial, I know that you Imperials like to work with metals a lot. And I would not turn down furniture that is made with metal, but if it is at all possible, can you make furniture out of frame furniture that is with wood or with stone? These are the normal materials that we usually use.
So you don't want any metal?
I would prefer no metal.
Probably makes sense.
They can interact.
Or tarnish, or
undead magic can interfere with.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, it's mostly the rust and the tarnish parts. It tends to look pretty bad after a little while.
Yeah, we can make furniture without metal on it, I think. Callie then puffs her chest out. He's like, I can make anything. I think that would be possible.
Oh, this is very good. Also, this is not really an important thing. It will not have any bearing on our business. But I am a priestess, and I would like to know: is there any particular deity which you give your prayers to?
Zero. I do not worship any particular god, goddess, or deity.
Oh, this is too bad. Very sad for you. I will tell Orcus that you are a soul upon yourself, an island amidst others.
Callie then says, would this be a bad thing in the making of the furniture, or would that be a good thing? That there's no...
No, it should not have any bearing. Orcus, as a deity, does not have any area of concern that involves furniture. The furniture is more, it is a convenience for myself, the few other nuns, and of course our Draugr residents here. Before they rot away to bones, they do, like to sit down. It is a kindness to their flesh while they are still heavy.
Can I tell what race she is?
Very.
You would need to make a
Oh jeez.
society check. It's a high check.
Yeah.
Tim.
you
That's
don't
no
know.
idea.
Well, that was one of the checks of all time.
She is big. That's all I got.
She is the tallest human you have ever seen.
Tim is still mesmerized by how tall she is. He's like,
Dude,
wow,
you can
big
get that
lady. Wow, big lady.
Humans look like that?
Dude, you can
Oh,
get
hey, speaking of wow, tall lady, Jay is here.
Oh, Jay.
Hey,
Jay.
tall lady, how are you doing?
Jay heard tall lady and came as fast as he could, and then he joined.
Yeah,
I know.
he did. It's funny because Jay isn't a tall lady. He's.
Jay,
Give
are
him,
you
give
there?
him a minute. Give him a minute. He's probably
Jay, we're
groggy as
currently
fuck.
selling chairs to a bunch of nuns that resurrect the dead. That's currently what's going on here.
This is
Yeah,
this is peak TTRPG.
Well, I am going to while Jay gets his stuff
Emphasis on
together
the
and whatnot,
tabletop.
I'm gonna give a brief pause here because the Jack and Coke is working its way through me, and I gotta go to the bathroom again.
Oh
I'm not
my
trained in
god.
society. I'm actually not.
I
Jealous,
quite
everybody
the
got
train.
alcohol.
I will also give it a try.
Well, don't I have a
As long as
society?
Do I want to give it the
Y'all heard
try?
me.
Do I want to? You know what? Fine, I'll give it the try.
Oh,
We'll both do it.
oh,
Y'all hear me?
Holy
Oh my
shit!
God.
man, Laria
man.
has just been killing it tonight.
Laria cooks.
What the
Uh,
fuck?
The shortest woman is able to see the tallest woman.
I mean, she has lived many lifetimes. It would make
It's
sense.
if it's just
Thomas.
like humans are built like that, and Larry just says, yeah.
okay, that makes sense. Let's do please.
Tim's like, man, big lady.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
can
now.
Yeah, you know.
You sound tired as fuck.
Were you
I
sleeping?
got No, I was not sleeping.
Where were you? Were you
It's not
okay?
working.
Were you working?
No, I was helping my mom with the garage, and I'm mentally
Exhausted.
I'm mentally exhausted. I don't want to say right now, but just know I'm kind of out of it. But I will be here.
It's all right.
Ready?
If you just want
I
to
mean, if you-
vibe and like listen
Yeah.
in, that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
Okay.
we got like, well,
Like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Considering we started 30 minutes later.
Maybe. Either way.
Also, the
Okay.
Larry's check. Goddamn.
Yeah. Goddamn. Laria actually passed the check.
Whoa.
Okay. So, Laria.
Laria gets the whispers.
I'm just
Larry-
imagine like just Tim, Callie, and I is just like whispering.
Yeah. Laria gets the
And
whispers.
all Tim says is "Wow, big lady," and everyone else is like, "Tim, like we're trying to figure out what she is right now." You could talk about how she's a big lady later.
Also, don't you have a girlfriend? Tim, don't you?
Who's also
Hi.
a big lady.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for a new girlfriend. I was just see who she was, or better yet, what she was.
He hasn't gotten the opportunity yet.
And I haven't seen my girlfriend in a month and a half.
You saw your girlfriend literally 2 weeks ago.
Bro,
Feels like it's been a month and a half.
I mean, yeah, real time, real time.
Real time, yeah. Real time, yeah.
It's actually probably been longer than that because we were mid like week 1 last session we joined. Doesn't really matter. Every time we stopped, I've sent letters.
Well, and by send letters, you mean you give them to Callie and she walks through the portal door and hands it
Yeah.
to somebody.
I still pay the silver price. I just keep giving Callie money. I'm just like, hey, can you walk this through the door? Callie's like, you don't have to pay me. It's like, I'll pay you.
Callie
Actually,
gives like a copper coin or two to the next person so that they deliver the mail for her.
just gives a copper piece in the letter to like Gacthus and just like, hey, go run this to Glory. Gacthus passes it off to one of his.
I'm probably gonna have to go through the portal door and be like, "Ayo, Gacthus, I got like a bunch of projects for you, and they all involve furniture or farm equipment,
And like 1 or 2 long swords.
and 1 or 2 maybe trading dummy swords." Yeah. And he's like, "What the? What are you doing? I haven't seen you in a week, and this is what you ask of me." You know, it'd be even crazier if she walks through the door, and like there's like 50 people there asking for furniture, fucking requests or something.
Like, damn, already?
Damn, already? I didn't know we got this famous. I mean, it might have been the saying that we fight dragons or something, but who knows? You know, we're but humble furniture salesmen of the dragon slaying type, I guess.
All right. So, anyways, Priestess Oleg, she does confirm with Callie that, you know, if at all possible, she would prefer wood and stone materials for the frame work and all of that sort of stuff for furniture. It needs to be, you know, set for humans, although she would like a, if you can all do so, a, like, extra long bed.
Gee, golly gee, I wonder who that's for.
Seems like wouldn't be the first time I've had to make that.
Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time somebody asked me to make an extra long bed, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's crazy it happened twice, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, she does need an extra long bed, but she also just needs like a collection of chairs, tables, benches, very simple stuff. And she would also prefer to have, if you can do so, she would like to have these items flourished with goat imagery into it. You don't have to actually put the holy symbol on it, but like goat, you know, iconography, she would be happy with.
Callie's like, she writes it down, she's like, oh, how am I going to explain this one to Gacthus and the rest of the cult boss? I guess, she's like, this is her thinking, her sister's like, I hope they've seen a goat before.
Well, they should be at the farmers and stuff.
They probably have seen a goat before. Just have the. She's like, maybe I'll just tell them if they don't know what a goat looks like, just to tell them to look at the goats on Homestead in the farmlands, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got goats, I think.
Yes, they do have goats. There's even underground goats.
Underground goats.
Undergoats.
Upside down, walking on the ceiling goats.
There are fucking undergoats.
Okay, Callie writes all this sounds like
Sorry.
Callie writes all this sounds like, yeah, we can do all that. That seems plausible, but very easy to do.
Wood or stone chairs, iconographized with goats, extra long bed.
Deck is going to be working overtime for this one.
Yeah.
But then again, they're also getting paid for this, so I don't think they'd complain. We're merchandising, as Callie would say. Yes, I am the Great Merlin. I sell magic chairs.
So, yeah. Well, Callie does a business deal with the tall lady who raises the dead. And
yes, indeed, they owe me favors now, or money. It depends. Which they she brokers the deal that that for you let her know what the cost of the furniture is. She will pay half up front. She will pay the other half on delivery. All right, I am good with these terms. I can.
She does specifically say, other than the bed, she would like 4 long benches, 2 long tables, and 4 chairs that are let's say built for plus-sized people. Maybe people who are carrying a bit extra in the weight department.
Okay.
But
we can do that.
But yeah, that is the order that she places. She would,
Tim rolls up his
some
sleeves.
chairs. She'd like some chairs, some benches, some tables, and 1 extra long bed.
All right, we can do that. Would you like them to be personally delivered, or would you like to pick them up? Callie asks.
Do you have a stall or something at the local fairground?
Callie then looks at the rest of you and like, we're gonna plan to open up a stall in the fairgrounds, yes?
Then I will come by. Then I will come by to pick it up. You do not have to.
Okay.
I don't want to pay delivery fee.
Alrighty, I understand. Well then, I bid you adieu then, I guess.
Thank you very much for the help you have given me. I will tell the Jarl next time I see Thorny that he did very well to send you to me. This has been a blessing.
Yes. And then Callie bows, and if nobody else has any questions or matters, Callie then begins walking out. Yeah.
So what was the Laria found out what species the nun was, the extra tall one?
Laria knows something, but Laria hasn't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
So,
You're right.
She was
no.
planning on.
Yeah,
She was planning on
totally
telling
right.
Tim, like,
That is totally
after
right,
that
yeah.
whole thing, like, you know, it's because she doesn't want to be rude about it.
So,
So,
probably a good idea, yeah.
so like when they leave, she lets Tim know.
Sorry, I wasn't
Oh.
trying to metagame or anything like that. I was just
Yeah, what's up?
trying
What's
to.
up, Larry?
It was a big
Well, she just says, basically, she's like, a humanoid. He is alive, even though she looks undead. She's just really tall, like, very old, I guess.
I see.
Interesting.
Understandable. Hold
People
on,
like
check
that
that.
exist. They're just very rare.
You know what? That's not that far away, actually.
Where are we going?
I say far away, even though this map is fucking massive.
Actually, how far? Like, don't I like get down to actual? This is meters or miles?
I think it would be meters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's in meters.
Because if it's miles, that's
miles is fucking crazy. Yeah.
504
No.
miles.
I mean,
there's no
like,
way
this
to
is
make
like
that.
this is a very large, like, medieval city.
Yeah.
But it ain't like that kind of like
No
crazy.
metropolis.
This shit ain't New York.
Yeah.
Or
If
freaking
nobody
Dallas.
else has any objections, everybody? What time is it actually before I do this? What time is it now after we
After you've come to the halls of rest, it is about 2 p.m.
Oh, we got time. Yeah, let's go to Old Deadeye's range if nobody has any complaints. And then
Sounds good to
afterwards,
me.
I would say probably good time to go to find a place like an inn near the fairgrounds, I guess, after that.
Yeah, before, just as we're getting ready to head to Old Deadeye's range, I'll just turn towards Olgi and ask, where is the closest library?
Oh no, not again.
There are several libraries in town. Is there a specific library you wish to find?
I suppose just like the central, like, biggest informational hub.
Well, I would imagine the library they have over in the Dawn Castle is quite large. I've never seen it myself, but I'm told that it has many books.
Okay.
There are slightly smaller libraries that you could find most likely over in the Light Road district. There's a lot of wizards that live over there.
Interesting.
And I am told that you Imperials like to keep a lot of like paperwork and notes and things. So I would imagine if you go over to the Imperial area, there would also be a lot of books over there. You can find them out in the Wolf Rise section, out past the walls.
Gotcha. Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure speaking to you.
Oh, it has been an honor and a pleasure to meet you too.
Kelly says to the rest of the party, guys, I will try to keep my kleptomaniac behavior in check this time, and will not rob the library of any specific books or other things.
Not specific books, just random books.
Yeah,
Just take random
yeah,
ones.
totally random, 100% random books.
100% random. Okay, so
Jesus, that's so far away, bro. That's like on the other side of town.
Yeah, it's.
I'll still put in an order though, because then it'll just look good on us anyway to be preemptive with that kind of stuff.
Also, just a personal thing. While we're walking, can Tim just like constantly be on the lookout for, I guess less so automatons and more just like the sigil that he has, the Viva Machina sigil.
yes.
I doubt it's going to be out in the open, but if I can like catch it from somebody,
bro, dude, if it was that easy, they wouldn't have made it that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, your
That
symbol
seems like
is like
a fucking
literally in
trap.
your arm. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on automatons, it's likely a maker's mark hidden on an internal port, but maybe somebody's got it tattooed.
but other items theoretically, and also tattoos could be definitely something you could come across. So yeah, just keeping a general eye out for it would be something. Actually, real quick, what is Tim's perception DC?
26.
26. Okay, so you have a plus 16. So I will need to make secret checks. Gotcha.
Oh, damn. Hopefully we're not being sussed out already. That would be fucking awful.
Tim's a sharp eye of the
not
group.
Suspicious, have we? Hopefully.
I mean,
maybe.
Well, we're suspicious in just our party composition.
I mean, yeah, we did show up heavily armed in a fucking Zeppelin. That is true. Yeah.
And you're walking with a tank.
Well, everyone in the Empire is walking at the tank, so it's
Yeah. So
not that weird.
We are inconspicuous in our conspicuousness, and like, oh, that's just Imperials. They're weird.
Yeah, it's the furniture part that doesn't make sense. Why would you need that many armed guards?
Bunch of
furniture?
Yeah, it's like, what's with that 6'6" like automaton robot following the child prodigy, and they're selling wood chairs.
Yeah, it sells wood chairs and tables.
And they asked about where they can get stuff to sign to sell weapons. It's like, why you the chairs?
I feel like maybe it's like one of those things. Just like maybe we're so like crazy in our appearance and the way we present ourselves that it's almost too obvious. And so they're like, no, there's no way. Those guys would be too obvious. That'd be fucking insane for that to happen. You know what I mean? That's almost like, what the hell are they thinking? That's too stupid.
They're too wild to cause problems because they should know that everybody's watching them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it'd be too insane for them to do something crazy like that because they're on everyone's radar. Everyone's looking at them and wondering what their next move is. Yeah. Yeah, onto the Hole's arrest. Deadeye's range. I mean... Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Fuzzy, I think it's doing something.
He's typing. I'm worried now that you've asked this question, because when he's silently typing shit like that after a check, it's never usually good.
So
Tim combusts.
So, you guys walk out of the Halls of Rest, hit the main road, and start heading back down that direction. As you guys are passing by the fairgrounds, you notice, just over there in the fairground area, that they have there's a pretty boisterous curling match going on. And there is in the one of the curling teams that is like throw in here. The like people who are out front, like sweeping the ice in front of the weight. I don't know what the fuck they call the actual thing that you push on the when you're doing curling. Is it the curl? I don't know. But anyways,
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, I have no idea what they fucking call it. Anyways, the people who are out front though with like the brooms and the scrapes to like smooth the surface as much as they can, they are skittering along as they are going, and one of them slips and falls rather comically on their ass as they are going along, and the curl weight, whatever the fuck the slide, the scoot, the shoot, whatever the fuck it is, it hits them on the foot, like at the speed of smell, and bounces and like
rocks. What the fuck?
What
a lame ass name, bro. I pulled up the Wikipedia page because I actually wanted to know myself.
What do they call them?
They're just called each take turns sliding heavy polished granite stones, also called rocks. That's literally what they're called.
Just some rocks.
Rocks. Yeah, imagine my disappointment. They're just called rocks.
It's a rock.
They're stones, also called rocks.
Granite
it's not a boulder.
Also
it's
called
a rock.
rocks.
Jeez,
Yeah,
thanks Wikipedia.
Yeah, thank you Wikipedia.
Okay. Well, anyways, the rock bumps into the fallen person's foot and like bounces off, and the crowd, which consists of like 6 of the people, just like break out into like like laughter and whatnot as they're like pointing, and the person who's just fallen on their ass, and like everybody's like wearing like winter, and most of them have on like heavy cloaks and stuff. The person who falls on their ass, they get up, and they are not when they get up, their hood and all that sort of stuff has been knocked askew. They are Imperial, because they are dark skinned, like they are the color of chocolate, and like they get up and like brush snow off of their like dark winter cloak and everything, and like turn around, and you hear just like heavily accented common getting like yelled at other people as you guys are like walking past, and there are people who are like poking their heads out of some of those snow mounds with the smoke coming out of them, who are like just looking out over at the commotion and laughing. But yeah, so like it's just boisterous.
So they just fell. There was like no equipment failure on their part. They just fell, right?
Yeah, they just slipped on the ice. They literally just slipped and fell on their ass on the ice, and make a lot of noise.
All right, strange place indeed. I see. Anyway,
but yeah, you guys pass by there, and eventually come out of the town, and the moment you step out of the town, the moment you step past the wall, Laria, since you were already aware of it, you feel the like background pressure of the effect like evaporate. And you also like can clearly see that like Rusi like just loses some tension in his shoulders, kind of subconsciously, but like Torque tenses up more. She tenses up more and like grabs June's hand, you know, like holding her hand as like they keep walking, and she glances back, you know, like around down the street, like like she's quite literally like watching her back. But otherwise, you guys keep on and get over to Old Deadeyes.
Yeah.
Weird.
So let me bring up Old Deadeyes.
She's definitely gonna mention it,
there's
like
a
in
map.
private, but
That's
yeah.
cool. Oh.
There's a
Okay.
map. That's cool. Oh, there's a map.
No.
We're not killing people, okay? We're not gonna start fighting a bunch of farmers, okay?
No. There's not a map. There's not a map for Old Deadeyes range. I want to bring up my note information.
Okay.
So, the first thing I have written down about the place is like, imagine a magical fantasy Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
I'm right at home.
And all you need.
I'm out of place here. Anyway, we gotta sell farm equipment. We can't be stunted by appearances now. We just walked into a nunnery where they literally resurrected the dead and said we would sell them chairs. So.
Yep. So you're gonna be selling chairs to like lady who raises the dead. And this place you're gonna be selling farm equipment to a bunch of people sitting around eating food in what is very much like a eatery, you know, restaurant establishment, but like is also a store that like sells a bunch of farm equipment and clothing and other things, and there's also like a shrine to the god Aristil, like also over in the corner. So this is a holy site. I do want to point out this is actually a holy site.
Damn, bro! They be worshiping the
but it is also a general store, and it is also a place where you can eat.
Well, good on him. He doesn't need to eat, but
yeah. So
I think we're gonna hold off on eating at the magical
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you show up over at Old Deadeyes, you see the farmer guy that you spoke to, and he's got a plate of like rabbit that he is like.
I might eat at the magical Cracker Barrel now.
Munching on like he's got like a plate of like roast rabbit and just steaming hot like chopped potatoes and
I'm real life hungry now.
Yeah, it's like carrots.
That sounds delicious.
Like carrots, mushrooms, all of the good shit. But he's at a table with like 4 of the dudes, and clearly 3 of these dudes are probably related to him in some way.
I see.
But the 4th one is a guy with quills. It's not the same guy that y'all saw before, but it is the same subrace. Where he's got like quills instead of like body hair, and when you walk in, the guy that you talked to before, you know, like he glances up at the like ringing of the bell when you guys push open the door, but like he looks over there and he sees you and he's like, "Hey, that's the one I tell you about, the one who sold the farm equipment. You had that you make that stuff that get rid of the tar."
Yes, I make the stuff that get rid of the tar. Yes, that is I.
Good. These fellows here, they also have issue with tar making stuff stick and not work well in cold weather. These stuff you make is like soap, oil, something like that loosen it up.
Yes. Yeah, it is something like that. Callie trying to play off that she hasn't really made it yet, but she can make it.
Hmm.
And he like turns back to the others. Like, see, I tell you, this one have the big flying house to come in. Look at the people behind them. Like, see the one with the robot arm? Like, that's pretty impressive. Do you know how much farming I could do with a robot arm? Like a lot of farming.
Is he saying?
I wouldn't even. Yeah, he's saying this in Skish. Yeah, he's saying this in Skish. He's like, I wouldn't even need a wind. I could just turn it all with my own robot arm. Robot churn arm.
Like off to the side in Aklo to her brother Roosie's like, you might want to hide that arm. They're thinking about using it for farm equipment. These guys seem to only really be centrally focused on farming, which is all right, I guess, considering they are farmers.
Well, if they try to take it, they'll have to deal. They'll have to deal with this. You know, flips his wrist in the other direction, so instead of like pulling out the alarm clock, he pulls out the cannon.
Mega Man, Mega Buster.
Oh jeez. Callie turns back. Yeah. Yes. I. That was actually what I came here to discuss. Actually, about the farming equipment. Selling it to you.
Good. Yeah. Now, me personally, I just want stuff to clean tar. But my cousin here, he have. Well, you tell her. And this other guy, he looks at Callie and he says, and he switches to common, and he says to Callie that he has a broken yoke that his three-horn just keeps snapping it every single time he like tries to mend the thing. So he's ready to just throw in the towel and buy a new one. And if he could get a like metal reinforced yoke, he'd really like that because his three-horn is just like fat and bulky and like keeps fucking snapping all of the like cables and everything. So if you had some chains, he'd love to buy some chains from you.
Yeah, we can sell chains. We can make chains. Callie says, writing that down in her notebook.
Okay. Well, these guys all have farm-related like things that they would like to place orders with Callie.
Yeah, Callie will then be like, "Yeah, we could place all these orders."
As the people start talking to Callie, Tim's gonna start behind her writing down the list. It's like chains, power bill.
Cactus and the other kobolds are gonna have a lot of work ahead of them, but if they there will be a lot of profit in them in for them in the end as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Farm equipment.
June just kind of pipes in, just like make sure to remember to get their details. Don't want to have anything lost in transit.
We're not. We're trying to be thorough like that. Obviously,
date,
I mean,
name, date.
How bad could it be selling farm equipment?
How bad could it possibly be?
Did you roll my perception?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean,
okay.
What does that have to do with the active perception he's doing?
No.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna look at it. I'm just not gonna look at it.
Don't worry about
writing
it.
down notes. While Tim's head blows up.
Well.
Actually, everybody except Tim and Callie. I do need everybody else to make perception checks.
Can Mr. Service and Dr. Tremors do one for me if Callie can?
Yes, they can.
Fucking finally a high perception check.
Man, that was like a 2.
Not bad, not great either.
Tim, the one with 16 perception, is busy writing down names and numbers.
He's getting his lawyer on.
Oh yeah.
He's making use of that suit and tie he bought, bro. All right.
Yep. Okay. Well, what's funny? Okay. Well, yet again, I'm gonna have to whisper something to.
Oh god.
Fuck, dude, it's that high. Fuck. All right.
Oh,
well,
no.
well, hopefully it's not bad. Obvious. I mean, why? How bad could it really be? We're selling chairs and farm equipment. Why would we be that suspicious? Honestly.
You keep saying that.
You shouldn't have said
I was gonna say it's one of those things where it's like, how bad could it possibly be? Let's see. Like, how bad? Anyway.
How bad could I?
We're about to find out as I bleed.
Rose writing down all this shit, and then some guy comes in and is like, "Sorry, we have to arrest you for murder." Like, what?
So, huh? I didn't cut the tree down myself to make the paper. I promise.
I didn't murder a tree.
Murder.
Did you even murder a tree?
Well, in a world where plant people exist.
I mean, actually, technically, in Halfus can murder a tree. Like, you actually can murder a tree.
Some druids live in trees. Some trees are just alive.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did see an entire grove of aspen trees walk across the road and like through the forest.
We did see that happen.
Yeah, you saw that. You saw that literally 27 hours ago.
I mean, Seamus is closer to tree than person.
And that's also true. Seamus can just pop out a branch and sprout peaches. So
yeah.
I can eat Seamus' peach.
And you've seen him murder people. So trees can also murder people. And be
So if I cut down a tree, it was self-defense because it killed my parents.
I mean, if you say so. But yeah.
It's flawless logic.
So Callie and Tim take down orders from these farmers, and it is very they just need tools and replacement parts and bits and pieces and stuff like that. It is very mundane, but Callie is going to make some money off of this. Not a lot, but she's going to be making some money off of this.
Well, I mean, I feel like just getting the name out is more important than making money, honestly.
Oh yeah, I mean that is the other thing. The real benefit here is the fact that everyone is hearing about Califino and the Fino workshop, and the fact that you take personal orders for specialized goods. That is a thing that is very important to these people. So you go about getting all of these orders and whatnot. They do all, like, since this is taking some time, they some people come out and they're like, hey, while you guys are like sitting around, and they supply the party with fucking food. Yes, it's very impressive. Thank you. But yeah, they supply the party with food. You guys are sitting around, and by the time it gets to about 5 p.m., which is the sun is going down, and the temperature is starting to drop again.
GM, I do have a question for you. This is just in general. Are we allowed to do like party whispers?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you would also you would have privacy at any given moment, and here to like murmur something to a party member without like most of the NPCs being able to overhear you or anything.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, then.
You can continue.
Okay. So after about 5 p.m., Callie has collected a just shopping list worth of like various random, incredibly mundane goods that these farmers would be very interested in paying her for.
Yeah.
The party has received dinner and has also gotten recommendations on where they can find lodging near the fairgrounds. in order to make sure that they can catch a spot early on in the morning. They do confirm that it is first come first serve.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
So the party is given an address for a reasonable quality tavern that they can get rooms at. That's next to the fairgrounds, as well as just general instructions on what specific part of the fairgrounds is used as the open market. They open at dawn. As soon as the sun's up, the things are going.
And Tim is going to be there right and early.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm basically gonna get my 2 hours of sleep. Around. I'm keep an eye out on everybody until midnight,
yeah.
and then sleep for
I
2 hours.
As soon as Callie gets to the inn or whatever, she's gonna open up the workshop door and be like, "Oh boy, do I have a list for y'all, Gactus and other kobolds. We got business orders in place."
All right, I need y'all to put everything on pause and turn around and make some fucking farm gear.
And furniture.
Extra long beds. Okay, so Callie goes about official business. The party can get their in rooms and sleep for the night, and we can move on into the next morning. However, as we are going to be ending session here, before we go, I need let's see here. I need to I'm gonna make a public roll. Let's see.
I do have to ask, do I need to do a craft check for all this stuff to get it started?
No. This stuff is so mundane. You do not.
I'm not going to stealth
Alrighty.
check.
I was gonna ask, could I also do a stealth check?
I mean, you can. What are you stealthing for?
That's what I asked about the party whisper.
I mean, sure. Make that stealth check. Okay.
So what Laria does is she pretty much tries her best to get June's attention by pulling on her sleeve.
That's actually a really cute image.
All right, June.
How to talk to short people.
June kind of looks down at Larry and just kind of nods, yeah, everything okay?
I wonder how she would try to go about saying it. Because I know her stealth is very low, but
I assume the only this is happening as everybody's bedding down, so it's likely just you and June, because June would have stayed with Torque, and so you were as Torque and June are settling down, it's just June and Torque in that room. But
that probably makes the most sense. I'd say. Are
Tim's
they
sleeping by
trying
himself,
to catch me,
as he
before we
always
get to the
does.
room, or they're coming into the room and
I guess she would catch June before they get to their room.
All right. Just be like, what's
And
up, Larry?
she would pretty much say I'm a little concerned about Torque, so just try your best to keep an eye on her.
Back for Kevin. Nah, that's
But do you have to make a check for that?
Perception or I'm a little bit, well, not a little bit
Perturbed.
June's just not sure what Larry is getting at,
What time if I might, this might be metagaming and too close to the end for me to question this. But what time?
I guess she would say, check your back pocket.
Check my back pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, she checks her back pocket.
There are 4 spoons and 2 knives, like little pear knives, food knives, in June's back pocket.
What
the handles on the knives clearly have Aristole's holy symbol on them.
She stole some stuff.
Where did she?
What time did Torque go and do this?
I mean, it's got the Aristotle symbol on it, right? So probably.
No. I mean, when did Torque go out to the fairgrounds?
She's looking out at the window.
Like shortly, like after you guys got to the tavern space, she's basically standing in the common room, looking out the window that's facing the fairgrounds, and she's like watching the people who are there like pack up for the day as like the last of the light is going out.
I gotcha.
Okay. Should I make like a check, or like is there like a specific check for me to make?
You can make specifically a perception check to see whether or not Torque is under the effect of something. And because of June's closeness with Torque and the fact that Torque actually shares like feet stuff with June, that's communications based, June gets a +1 to the check.
Hey.
Oh,
that's not too bad.
There is something definitely bothering Torque.
Okay.
She is not acting exactly correct, but she's not like acting like weird, like she is acting like something is wrong, or maybe she's bothered by something. That kind of like thing.
Okay.
I also forgot to ask, do I need to do anything specific for the training gear, like the wooden swords and dummies or whatever?
No.
I forgot to ask that. All right. Okay.
Yep.
So it's just part of the
again, it's so mundane. Don't even worry.
Yeah, okay. Well, June will. June will kind of see Torque, kind of looking a bit, perturbed and like, scratching her calf with her foot, like just like real antsy, and she just kind of, she'll just like nod to Larry and just kind of walk up behind Torque and give her like a hug from behind, like, nuzzling into her hair, and she'll. Oh. Was that Fuzzy?
I was saying that Torque just kind of like reacts with a almost startled, but like immediately realizes, June, and just relaxes into it. But she does start, like she almost jumps like out of her skin, like and then like just it's you, kind of like.
All right, well, that reaction will just have June just drop all pretenses and just kind of look at her concerned and say, Torque, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask?
You don't look fine. You seem like something's bothering you.
Well, I wouldn't say bothering me, just I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I'm just, I've never been in a place like this before, way outside of the area that I've, spent so much of my life in. And while this is real, familiar for, like being in the Empire and everything, and it's not really super dissimilar from back in the Kingdom. It's different, and I don't know. I feel uncomfortable, like somebody's watching me. And I keep looking, in case something is watching me, but I can't see anybody specifically watching me. There's always people watching me.
She's kind of like
when you got an ass like this, there's always somebody watching.
she just kind of touches foreheads with Torque and says, "Are you sure that's it? There's nothing else?"
I guess so. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know, Joan. I can't tell you that like something's wrong because I don't really feel like something's wrong, but I also don't really feel like everything's right. I don't know. Like I just, I've been sort of reaching out, trying to feel out something, but like I don't get anything here. Like I'm not picking up any, spirit vibes or anything. So I don't know. I'm feeling a little put off by it and confused, and I'm sorry if that's making me come off weird. I didn't mean it.
No, you're fine. She just pulls out a sword cutlery that was in her back pocket and just says, "Were you the one that put these in my pocket, or did somebody else do that?"
Yeah, I did put those there. I ran out of room, and then since she's facing June, she opens up her hidden stowaway pocket, and inside of her hidden stowaway pocket, it's built into her poncho that she's got, which does not have a lot of space. It being a hidden stowaway, it's made for a couple of small items. She has at least 4 different rings in there, none of which you've ever seen before. Although one of them very clearly has the stamp mark of the Jarl on it. It's the thing that he would put his mark onto official paperwork with. She also has several little things, she's got a little folding pocket knife and other stuff. None of this shit you've ever seen before. That she's just apparently been pickpocketing as you guys have walked through town.
Fuck.
It might have been I don't mean this in a mean way, but it might have been a bad idea bringing Torque with us to this merchant.
No. I don't think something's
up. It's not Torque. It's something. Okay, so June.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
yeah.
because of that, it might be a bad idea.
June is a bit bewildered to see Torque being the one, the kleptomaniac, not Callie for once. But
what do you mean? I haven't stolen shit in fucking 30 sessions or whatever. And typically I don't steal cutlery either. I steal something of value and worth.
Like library books. But
yeah.
June.
Can I see if there's any type of? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it's just June and I think Laria too. If Laria wants to have any input, but June is just kind of shocked and say, "Torque, why did you take this? Isn't this the Jarl's?"
I guess so. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, Larry would be shocked by it too, because all she saw was the
I mean, it was just sitting there on the table next to his plate.
Oh no!
and she's looking Torque's eyes are kind of darting around, and she's leaning forward, in such a way that it looks like she's being close with June, and obviously Larry is right there next to him, so Larry can see this. But she's very clearly trying to not let the other party members see what's in her pocket and all of that sort of stuff.
Is this like the Walmart thing where they let you steal a certain amount and then eventually they get you when you've stolen enough?
I hope not, because that would mean the crime is going to be even worse if they charge us for all of the thievery.
But yeah, I mean, also, June would very easily be able to tell that all of these other little items Torque has picked up, they are inconsequential. They are nothing burgers. The official seal of the Jarl, however, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah.
Man, I try to keep up appearances and be good for once, and some shit gotta happen.
But Torque is also acting nervous, and she's acting nervous towards the other party members, which is something that she has not done before.
Sus.
Would she be acting nervous towards Laria too?
Well, well, you're standing like right there. She can't hide it from you because you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But she is attempting to angle herself in every casual, but also conveniently just blocks, her hidden pocket from everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the only reason why June isn't like bring more attention to it is she doesn't want to say, "Is that the Jarl's ring?" It's that'd probably be a bad thing to yell out,
Yeah, and there are other besides in this big menu, so that would probably not be a good idea. Nobody is paying a lot of attention to you or anything like that, so there is that aspect of it. Her stealth and you guys' casualness and whatnot is more than enough that any other passerby here is not notice this.
All right.
Can I do just?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I just wanted to do can I do an Arcana check, but just to feel something, just
just to feel alive.
Just can I a spell effect, a portion of the curse, even just like the ambient air is slightly more arcanically saturated, just something to get a feel.
I think that's what Laria pretty much said about the whole town.
Laria did let everybody know about the effect that happened to everybody, so you would be aware of that. So if you wanted to try to tune your senses to it, then yeah, I would say that I would allow you to make a Arcana check. The DC is going to be kind of highish, but yeah, make an Arcana check.
Can I have Brick help me?
Sure. Brick is outside the building, but he can, he can help you triangulate.
Damn.
You know what? You know what? I'll roll for Brick.
Okay.
How about me?
With all the loose scattered forks and knives.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You sound a little British there, Johnny.
I'm hero pointing that. I do not care.
I'm hero pointing that. Arcana check.
There we go.
When Brick barks, I go to find where he's at.
He is outside of the building, doing his patrol. He lets the wolf that he let out was not a warning wolf, just more of a I have noticed something wolf.
Gosh.
But yeah. Okay, so swag.
Damn.
Fuck. Tim. Yes. And Larry already being well aware of this shit. It's just let me hone in on it. Okay, so the two magical people are let me hone in on this magical signature thing that's going on. Tim steps out of the building to go take a look at what Brick found. Torque is maintaining just being close and casual with June, because technically her being undercover, June can tell that Torque is being casual actively, as a social disguise kind of thing. But yeah, so Tim, when you come around the corner, you find Brick, and Brick is pawing at one of the snowbank that's up against the building, and when you come around, he steps over to like get out of the way so that you can see. And what he has found in the snowbank is a bush, which in and of itself is not like weird or anything, except that this bush is in bloom. Like it's covered in snow, but it is green, it is healthy, and it is in bloom.
Can I do some kind of check to see what kind of, like, get down close and try and investigate what it is?
He gets down close, he licks it, and he's like, this bush is made out of bush.
How's he supposed to do that with no tongue?
That does make a question. Make a survival check.
I'm actually proficient with survival. I actually might be expert. No.
Well, 23 is good enough. This plant, it doesn't bloom for or shouldn't bloom for several more months. It should be in its winter hibernation state.
Something is up. Something is up, man.
But it's not. It is, like I said, it appears completely healthy. It's just blooming like it's fucking spring. And Brick noticed it and was like, that seems weird. I should tell the boss. And that's why you're out here. Meanwhile, the magical people, Swag and Laria, you guys are able to pinpoint that the source of this effect that seems to be radiating out
I don't see anything with my 25.
Is unfortunately no.
Yeah.
The DC was literally 27.
All right.
But you guys can tell that the effect is coming from underground. So whatever is generating it, it is under the city.
Sewer level, let's go.
Salt. I mean,
I guess
it could be the mines. The mines
it's almost
under the city.
It's almost 10:30. I don't want to run us for very much longer, but can I do one last perception check while I'm out here?
Sure. What do you want to perceive?
Just if there was somebody here.
These nuts.
Okay.
Can I do one as well?
I mean, you can, but do survival again specifically to track.
I have something for tracking. Hold on.
I was gonna ask specifically because I'm probably still in the stables because I probably just came out of the workshop door while all this is happening.
Yeah, because you would have walked back in there to give them the orders.
Anybody suspicious? Outside, down where the stables are, while everyone else is relaxing for work.
Well, you're not currently moving, so you don't have to worry.
I don't have to worry about that.
This is
okay.
Bullshit, I tell you. Hold on, these guys are with me. Fuckers, man. Somebody see something at least.
Dr. Turner is coming in clutch. Okay.
Somebody
all right. So,
something.
Tim, there is not a lot of tracks in the specific area that you are. You're in a little alleyway between this building and the next. And most of the main roadways have been shoveled clear and all that sort of stuff so that they are clear of excess snow and ice. And that's where most of the travel has happened. So anybody who has walked through here, it's very fucking obvious. And there's very clearly Rick's tracks. There's very clearly your tracks. And then there's very faintly other tracks that were left in the snow but did not make full impressions. As if whatever walked across it basically didn't weigh anything. They are very clearly human footprints, and they're human footprints, not boot prints.
That is...
Does Torque wear shoes, right?
Yes, Torque wears shoes. Torque wears shoes.
I know, weird question, but I always see art of her without shoes on, so I was like, does she walk without shoes on?
Does she always have the dogs out?
I mean,
she does not always have the dogs out.
Torque, if it's a beach pick, that
Torque
makes sense.
wears boots. Yeah, the beach pick, yeah, but normally, especially in the cold, Torque is definitely wearing boots. Like she's got boots with heels on them, and she weighs like 100.
Yeah.
She's going through the fucking snow.
Oh yeah. I just thought.
But yeah. No. Also, as far as you know, like unless Torque turned invisible at some point and like ran around the building, you haven't lost sight of her except for now. When you're outside by yourself. But yes, there is very faint, bare, what looks like human because they're adult human-sized footprints that are just the faintest impression on the top of the snow.
Tim is taking off his fucking lawyer suit and is putting on a investigator's hat because your boy is Sherlock Holmes and this he out of character is already trying to connect dots we don't even have. Okay. Light footsteps. Okay. You don't even have information, and I'm trying to figure stuff. My notebook. Oh, bro.
He just rips off his tie and like origami folds it to a cowboy. Puts it on.
Yeehaw, motherfuckers.
Pulls out a pipe and starts blowing into it.
You can't even smoke.
Bubbles come out.
Burns. Even better.
To circle back to Torque a bit, so while they're investigating outside, June and Larry are like kind of, I wouldn't say like cornering Torque, but like, finding out that
Slag there too apparently. Even though like Torque's trying to hide from.
Well, I'd say like we would have flagged Seamus over, or like the party, or like the ones in the building. June is going to.
Which would be.
June is just going to like, very like subtly, just be like, kind of cup her hands, like give that to me, like like the ring and like the other bits and bobs that she's for whatever reason taken.
Torque passes it over, casually, in that way from one rogue to the next kind of way.
So she's not like being forced to like hold on to stuff. She's not like that like kleptomaniac.
Yeah, and she is not trying to hold on to it. She passes it to you.
All right, June is just going to put the rest of the cutlery with the rest in her pocket, and the ring she's going to just drop down in her shirt to kind of keep it out of sight, and
not to metagame here, but it might be a good place to put it in like a bag of holding or some extra dimensional space, because we don't know if that gives off like a magical essence that can be tracked.
True, but I mean, with detect magic, you could still technically track it.
Well, anyways. I mean, that's the thing is, it's like if it's detect magic, it might be less distinct if it was in an extra dimensional space, because then you'd be like, oh, well, that's just a bag of holding. There's probably anything in there. Whereas, like, if it's like, oh yeah, there's like a magical source coming from this person's like chest or something, that would be a little weird.
Well, it seems
that's a good idea. But at this very particular moment, though, June pockets the ring.
Takes it off Torque.
Are you passing Torque the cutlery?
No. She's taking basically all the stuff that she's taking everything that Torque has taken, like off of her, and like is just kind of holding it for the time being. She doesn't want Torque to be holding it.
All right. So you confiscate it from Torque. Torque gives you all of this stuff.
All right.
No problem.
And she's just going to say, very gently, Torque, there is definitely something wrong with you, and you're acting very differently from how you usually do.
Am I?
Well, last I checked, you aren't.
I feel a little off, but like, am I acting differently?
June just kind of like rubs her head and just kind of says, "This isn't really. Usually, you're the one that is covering my." Or I'm trying to think of like the proper word. She just kind of sighs like, "Usually, you're the one that watches my back for these kind of things." And she just kind of turns to Larry and say, "Do you have any idea? Maybe this was the thing you mentioned when we first walked into town?"
She would say, yeah, when I walked through, I definitely felt something.
And with Laria's check and everything like that, not only can you tell that Torque and several other NPCs in this room with you right now are all basically glowing with it, like they are fully suffused with this power or effect or whatever is going on.
Oh, I see.
I think you said, like, with our check, you said Seamus and I could tell it's coming from underground.
Yeah, you can tell it's coming from underground. You know that it is. You know that it is occult in nature, and that it's basically a curse.
Oh shit!
And unfortunately, because Torque critically failed the saving throw, she is permanently cursed until the curse can be removed.
Hey
because
guys,
otherwise, if you leave town, it ends. But because she critically failed, it never ends for her unless it is removed.
Hey guys, just want to mention here,
Seamus and I will say it sounds like she's under some sort of curse to me.
Guys, just want to mention here, because probably Callie has mentioned it to the rest of the party. I still got that scroll of remove curse that we haven't used, by the way. Just wanted to point that out to the rest of the party. You know,
oh, that's a little metagamey, but we'll have
well,
to find out.
It's not metagaming because I literally. I said it wasn't metagaming because I mentioned that Callie probably mentioned at some point that she has it to the rest of the party.
I was getting ready to say, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, because from last sessions, I'm like, wait, hold on, yeah, no, when Callie was cursed, we didn't use that scroll.
Yeah, because I forgot we had it. That was why. that has nothing to do with metagaming. Well, no, because we used it. We uncursed her the other way. Obviously, it's just
we did the rough way.
Well, if I had to give an explanation, the reason is it was literally just in the group of items and from loot that we had that we just kind of forgot about. That like it was one of those things that just went unclaimed, that nobody kind of claimed, and it's just like it was there but nobody used it, but we forgot it existed when it was important, kind of thing. And then I saw it and I was like, oh damn, that would have been really useful when Callie was, I don't know, like cursed like a couple sessions ago, and so I marked it in her inventory as her having it in case that would have happened again.
I was waiting for it. Little Jimmy's sucking away.
Damn.
Yeah. So
out next time.
Find out next time.
Honestly, I was about this close from typing like I'm gonna leave them a message on the wall side and fall break. Just go on my own.
This is where we will end.
Bro, I don't know if I did it to myself by putting on suspenseful music or if just the mystery is this interesting. I am so down to follow this mystery. Maybe it's me writing down on actual paper now, where I'm like, I feel like a detective. I'm like, oh, bro, I'm so ready.
I am so glad that you're making the saddle.
I am here for the Detective Tim arc.
I am here for Detective Tim, and of course, obviously, I get to murder things possibly this session.
Yeah, possibly tree murder.
Yeah.
This was the place where we were like, this is probably where some of the automaton stuff is going down. So I'm like, yeah, it makes sense why Tim wants to like follow this down the route.
And there's obviously mystery.
Okay, well,
can it be Saturday already?
No, let's do it.
Yeah, but Nick,
yeah, it still is. Yeah.
So yeah, the sun goes down. Party retires to their rooms. Otherwise, Tim and Brick obviously don't need to worry about the cold quite so much, and also sleep quite so much. So technically, if
oh gosh,
the Vanguard wants to go vanguarding in the dark, technically can. But otherwise, just so that we are clear with it, Torque does. Pardon me. Torque does accept that like something may be affecting her that she doesn't otherwise feel, but like she trusts June and Laria very implicitly, and if they're both telling her that something is wrong, she's going to believe them. Something is wrong. She's otherwise ready to get some sleep because like it's cold as balls, and like they actually you guys get to sleep in actual beds for the first time in days. So
and that's the
she's
makeshift cottage in the bottom of the ship.
Yeah, because I mean, like otherwise, everybody has been sleeping inside of a hollowed out like transfer trailer that's attached to a balloon.
Not Callie. She's been sleeping in a tank full of water. As
I mean, as normally happens in all sorts of games and media like this sort of thing, we do gloss over how exactly bathroom. So like Torque is very down for like one actual bed to sleep on, and then two like an actual bathroom where like she's the only person in the bathroom. So yeah, she's not going to argue with that. Like she's not arguing with the assumption that something is wrong with her. She's still like adamant that she doesn't feel anything wrong, but she trusts you guys. So either way, that's where we end at. And next Saturday, we will pick back up with this, and you guys will probably add more places on the map, icons, and more like little names, things like that. They get so. See you next Saturday, everybody.
All right, see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good night. Good smooch.
All right. Well, that was a good session. That was a great session. I'm so glad that we got to come back after so long, and like we did not miss a beat. All right. So let's go ahead and get a raid going. Let's go ahead and raid an Edu. Alright guys, here's the raid message. If you aren't subbed, you can go ahead and use this one, or use just your own emotes, just the words, whatever you want. And maybe one day this year, maybe sometime this year, I'll actually have a ending screen or a BRB, whatever. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
So